Chapter 1759. It was a huge temptation. In their view, the other party could not refuse their offer at all. Unless the other party was out of his mind or did not fear death. Would Longao agree? Just when they were full of confidence and thought the other party would agree. Whoosh! Samsara backhanded a sword, and a Samsara sword chi came out. Longao seized the opportunity and turned to leave quickly. This time, Longao used all his strength and disappeared without a trace in the blink of an eye. They were a little dumbfounded. The two never thought that Longao would suddenly take the initiative to attack them. In anger, they seemed to be very afraid of the reincarnation sword and hurriedly dodged. The reincarnation sword chi could not hurt them at all. It turned out to be a paper tiger. The two were furious to the extreme. It turned out that Longao could not use this starry sky divine weapon at all. Kill. Fangya was also enraged. In her opinion, a puny Nirvana realm martial artist dared to provoke her again and again. It was simply unbearable. Even if she could endure it, she couldn't endure it. Even if she could endure it, she couldn't endure it. Lu Chong did not say a second word and the two chased directly. The two sides, one in front and one behind, were very fast. If he could use space teleportation, even if it was a third-level starry sky cultivator, Longao was a little confident that he could leave smoothly. But now, Longao was very clear about the gap between him and a starry sky cultivator. It was not only the gap in strength, but also the gap in speed. According to this situation, he would be caught up in less than 3 minutes. What should he do? What should he do? Longao was very helpless. He thought about it and still could not come up with a good idea. Longao, you have no way to escape? At this time, the terrifying starry sky force pressed down fiercely. The power of the double starry sky force, even if Longao used the reincarnation sword, could not break it at once. Fangya, Lu Chong, you are third-level starry sky cultivators, but you joined hands to deal with a Nirvana realm martial artist. It's a bit disgusting. Just when Longao kept using the reincarnation sword chi to break the suppression of the starry sky, a crazy laughter came. The three arrived at the same time. On the left was Fangya and Lu Chong, while on the right was a tall and sturdy man. His face was full of wrinkles which did not match his age. It was very strange. Wenlin, could it be that you want to interfere? Wenlin was also a grade 3 starry sky cultivator, but his strength was above the two of them. In other words, the two of them could only fight Wenlin to a draw if they joined forces. If it was a one-on-one fight, neither Lu Chong nor Fangya would be Wenlin's opponent. The two of them kept Wenlin trapped. Haha, it's just two starry sky divine tools, but you've already revealed your true colors. You always put on a sanctimonious look, so I thought you guys were upright and upright. But now, you guys are really shameless, so shameless that it's disgusting. His expression was extremely gloomy, as ugly as it could get. As for Longao, similarly, he did not know whether the starry sky martial artist who had suddenly appeared was a friend or foe. However, based on the current situation, it seemed that even if the burly middle-aged man who had just appeared was not their friend, he was definitely their opponent. As the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Young man, what's your name? Longao, how should I address Senior? Wenlin, they are the enemy of the two of them. I can help you deal with them. Wenlin, you've gone too far. Retreating continuously, Longao was already standing beside Wenlin. Whether Wenlin was sincere or not, he had to get through this first. Otherwise, it would be difficult for him to resist the joint attack of the two of them. There was only one result, and that was death. Going too far? You've trapped me for so many years, aren't you going too far? Wenlin seemed to hate the two of them. He turned around and left with Longao, but would the two of them agree? Courting death. Fangya had a fiery temper. How could she bear it? Fangya and Lu Chong directly rushed up, one on the left and one on the right, attacking Wenlin continuously. As for Longao, he walked far away because he could not intervene in such a high-level battle. Longao did not want anyone to win. There was only one best result, and that was both sides suffering. Again, Longao was not sure whether Wenlin was an enemy or a friend. If Wenlin really won, he would be a wolf in sheep's clothing. What should he do? It was the same as walking out of the wolf's den into the tiger's. The battle between the three level 3 starry sky cultivators continued to escalate. For thousands of years, the three of them had fought countless battles, big and small, and had always been tied. Otherwise, both sides would not have survived, and one of them would have fallen. Leave? Or continue to watch the battle? For a while, Longao had no choice because he already knew that the battle between the two sides would end in a draw. No matter what the result was, he would be unlucky. If he chose to leave at this time, he would definitely offend Wenlin. In this case, the three starry sky cultivators would deal with him. Such a result was not acceptable to him. After thinking about it, Longao finally chose to stay and watch the battle. However, he did not sit still and wait for death. Instead, with the help of the Samsara sword in his hand, he directly slashed at the two of them. Longao, if you dare to make a move, I will tear you to pieces. Seeing Longao constantly attacking the two of them, whether it was Lu Chong or Fangya, both of them instantly became angry. As starry sky cultivators, they could not stand the provocation of a puny Nirvana realm cultivator. Even when the two of them joined forces, they still could not suppress him. One could only imagine how powerful Wenlin was. The three of them were all level 3 starry sky cultivators. Whether it was Wenlin or Fangya, as long as one of them broke through to the level 4 starry sky cultivator, the other party would definitely die. However, for so many years, none of the three of them had broken through to the level 4 starry sky cultivator. The biggest reason was that this forbidden area made it impossible for them to break through. The three of them knew very well that not to mention 10,000 years, even if it was 1,000,000 years, or even 10 million years, as long as the three of them were still in this forbidden area, no matter who it was, they would never be able to break through to the level 4 starry sky cultivator. Because of this, Wenlin felt very depressed. He did not know whether the two of them had lost their minds or not. For the sake of the grudges of the past, they would rather stay here and trap themselves here. After so many years, the two of them had not broken through. If they had left this damned place 10,000 years ago, they would have at least become level 5 starry sky cultivators by now. But now, Wenlin was very angry. He could not wait to kill the two of them. In that case, he could leave this place, but could he do it? After countless battles, he could not kill the two of them. Chapter 1760. The battle continued to escalate. In the end, both sides retreated without a fight. Because even if they continued to fight, they would gain nothing. Wenlin, the grudge between you and me will be resolved sooner or later. But no matter what happens today, you have to hand over this person. Fangya was not a fool. How could she give up so easily? If Wenlin took Longao away, could the two of them still get the 2 starry sky god artifacts? Definitely not. Fangya was determined to get the 2 starry sky god artifact. Wenlin sneered. Fangya, Lu Chong, come at me if you have the ability. As for Longao, if he wants to stay, I will not stop him. But if he leaves, don't even think about keeping him. Wenlin's meaning was clear. Looking at the two people in front of them, whether it was Fangya or Lu Chong, their faces turned gloomy. They would not stop until one of them died. The two sides had long been enemies. It would be strange if Wenlin did not intervene. Wenlin, if you are willing to hand over Longao, we are willing to stop. How about it? Little Yi. Waving her hand, Fangya did not speak, but the expression on her face told Lu Chong that she had made up her mind. For the 2 starry sky god artifacts, she was willing to temporarily put aside the grudge between her and Wenlin. Fangya knew very well that if she could get the 2 starry sky god artifacts, even if Wenlin could leave the forbidden space, She was confident that she could deal with him in the future. If that was the case, why not get the 2 starry sky god artifacts first? How could Wenlin not know what Fang Ye was thinking? If he agreed, he would really be a fool. Sneering, Wenlin said with disdain, "Fang Ye, you'd better save it. Longao, let's go." Wenlin and Longao turned around and left. Just like that, Fang Ye and Lu Chong could only stare blankly as the 2 figures gradually left. "Little Ye, are we just going to let them go like this?" Once Longao leaves with Wenlin, "I'm afraid that if we want to get the 2 starry sky god artifacts back, I'm afraid." Lu Chong did not continue, but the meaning in his words was clear. Wenlin was also a starry sky martial artist. Of course, he was very greedy for starry sky spirit artifacts. It would be a lie to say that Wenlin did not want to obtain a starry sky spirit artifact. "Come with me." Lu Chong didn't know what Fang Ye wanted, but after so many years, he had always followed her orders. Longao quickly followed Wenlin. Although he had temporarily avoided Fang Ye and Lu Chong's pursuit, he was still extremely vigilant. Again, he didn't know if Wenlin was a friend or foe. A row of houses. "Longao, do you want to know how you came in?" Without hiding anything, Longao roughly explained the matter of the map to Xiao Chen. "I was the one who released the map. After so many years, I don't know how many people came in but couldn't get out. Do you know why? Because of Lu Chong and Fang Ye." Longao had already guessed it. As for Wenlin's intention, it was also very simple. He wanted to borrow external forces to leave this forbidden space. "That's right." Sighing deeply, Wenlin said helplessly, "Back then, both of us entered this middle-ranked plane at the same time. That was how we became enemies." Longao was also very interested in the enmity between the 3. "Forget it, let's not talk about this. Longao, you don't have to worry. I have no interest in the 2 starry sky divine tools in your hands." No interest? Longao didn't want to believe it. At least, he didn't believe it now. As the saying goes, you may know a person for a long time without understanding his heart. Who knew what Wenlin was thinking? "Thank you, Senior, for saving me just now." Wenlin smiled. "Brother Long, if you don't mind, you can call me Big Brother One in the future." Big Brother One. Before figuring out whether the other party was a friend or foe, Longao certainly didn't want to fall out with him. After all, 2 people were difficult enough to deal with, not to mention a starry sky martial artist. "Brother Long, you and I feel like old friends at first sight. I will also get straight to the point. I have been sealed here for tens of thousands of years and can't wait to leave. I hope you can help me." It was very difficult. Once a 3rd-grade starry sky martial artist left this forbidden space, he would be a supreme existence in the Tianwu continent. With Wenlin's strength, he believed that except for the divine mathematician, Tian Dao, and the old ancestor, no one could be his opponent. Once Wenlin became his friend, the consequences would be unimaginable. If he didn't agree, Wenlin would probably fall out with him now. "No problem, Big Brother One. As long as there is a chance, I will definitely help you leave here." Good, good, good. Both of them had their own ulterior motives. "You don't believe me, I don't believe you." One wrong step, and all the steps would be wrong. "Brother Long, for the time being, you should not leave here. With your help, there should be no problem this time. As for Fang Ye and Lu Chong, they will definitely not give up. They will definitely find a way to deal with you. As long as you don't leave here, they can't do anything to you. Big Brother One, I know. I want to ask, is there anyone else in this forbidden space besides you and them?" "No. When we accidentally entered this place, the 2 of them forcibly sealed us. After so many years, if it hadn't been for them pestering me, I wouldn't have been sealed for so long." "What is it like outside?" Longao roughly explained the current situation of the Tianwu continent. After hearing it, Wenlin sighed. He had never imagined that in a short 10,000 years, over 10,000 of the Starry Sky's martial artists had died. It seemed that only the 3 of them were left. It was a bit unimaginable. Alright, you cultivate first. I'll think about it. When Lin got up and left. As for Longao, he was preparing to stay here and cultivate. If he could leave, that would be for the best. As for the future, he would deal with it later. Since entering this place, he had been hunted down and had not been able to properly sense it. Now that he had sensed it, Longao was shocked to find that the spiritual chi of heaven and earth here was very abundant. It was 100 times stronger than outside. Not only that, there was something that shocked Longao. In this forbidden space, there was still the origin energy. Perhaps other Nirvana realm martial artists could not sense it, but he could clearly sense it, because under normal circumstances, even in other mid-grade or even high-grade planes, only when one's cultivation had broken through to the Nirvana rebirth realm could one officially sense the origin energy and reproduce the origin energy that belonged to oneself. As for devouring the origin energy, as long as one's cultivation had broken through to the Nirvana rebirth realm, one could successfully devour the origin energy. Longao's situation was very special. Although his cultivation had not broken through to the Nirvana rebirth realm, he could still sense the origin energy here. Chapter 1761. He felt helpless. He was also unwilling. Longao knew very well that if he could break through the Nirvana rebirth realm with his current cultivation, he could take advantage of this opportunity to use the origin power here to reproduce his own origin power. It was too late to say anything now. The gap between the unity of heaven and man realm and the Nirvana rebirth realm was too great. Longao had already calculated that with his situation, if he wanted to break through from the unity of heaven and man realm to the Nirvana rebirth realm, he would need at least a year or even 2 years. Did he have to wait until his cultivation broke through the Nirvana realm to leave here? It was also a good idea. If there were no worries, Longao would certainly be willing to do so, because he knew very well that there would never be a second chance like this. They're here. Looking at the two people who suddenly appeared in front of him, Longao was a little surprised because he never expected that Fang Ye and Lu Chong would still dare to stay here. When Lin had just left, God knew where he was. Longao, do you think that we won't dare to hurt you because you have Wen Lin as your backer? Before Longao could speak, Fang Ye continued, I'll give you another chance. As long as you hand over the 2 Starry Sky divine weapons, I'll let you go and help you break through the Starry Sky realm. How about it? Shameless. Do I still need your help in 3 years? Longao was full of confidence that if he kept cultivating here, he could break through the Starry Sky realm in less than 3 years. Fang Ye, I won't agree. Longao kept retreating. He was very afraid of the 2 people. Not to mention fighting 1 against 2, he could not even win in a one-on-one situation. This was the absolute gap between their realms. The absolute gap. Ha ha ha, Longao, are you afraid? Lu Chong seemed to be very satisfied with Longao's fear. The next second, Lu Chong had already rushed out, and the terrifying Starry Sky force pressed down. As for Fang Ye, she stood quietly where she was. Lu Chong alone was enough to deal with Longao. Not daring to be careless, Longao quickly slashed out 3 times with the Samsara sword in his hand. 3 strands of sword chi shot out in succession, breaking through the suppression of the Starry Sky. Having learned his lesson, Lu Chong wasn't surprised at all. Both Lu Chong and Fang Ye already knew the truth. If it were just Longao alone, it would have been impossible for him to break through the suppression of the Starry Sky's power. However, Longao could do so only because of the Starry Sky's spirit artifact in his hand. In the next second, Lu Chong had already closed in on him, and the 2 of them engaged in close combat. Before Longao could react, he had already received 10 consecutive punches from Lu Chong. A total of 10 punches. The absolute difference in cultivation level caused Longao's speed to be much slower. If it was any other Nirvana realm martial artist, they would have already suffered an entire 20 punches, an entire double the difference. He actually didn't fall? Lu Chong was shocked to the extreme when he saw Longao take the hit. He was very confident in the power of his fist. 10 consecutive punches. Was the other party really a Nirvana realm martial artist? Even if he was a grade 2 Starry Skies cultivator, it would be impossible for him to withstand his punches, let alone 10 punches. The other party's physical defense was really terrifying. Not to mention Lu Chong, even Fang Ye, who was standing on the side, was also shocked to the extreme. Because Fang Ye didn't know how a puny Nirvana realm martial artist like Longao could have such a terrifying physical defense. Could it be that Longao had a Starry Skies spirit artifact in his body? Thinking of this, Fang Ye's face was full of surprise. Lu Chong, kill this person. Remember, don't damage his body. Understood. Lu Chong had already guessed that the other party could withstand his 10 punches because he had a Starry Skies spirit artifact. There were many types of Starry Skies spirit artifacts, including offensive spirit artifacts, speed spirit artifacts, defensive spirit artifacts, and so on. With so many types of spirit artifacts, only the Starry Skies spirit artifacts were rare. Whether it was Fang Ye or Lu Chong, both of them wanted a defensive spirit artifact very much. Because of this, the two of them never thought that the other party would have one. A puny Nirvana realm martial artist actually had 3 Starry Skies spirit artifacts. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, it would have been hard to believe. Lu Chong's attacks were getting faster and faster because both of them wanted to end the battle quickly. Once when Lin rushed back and entangled them, it would be difficult for them to continue to kill Longao. Starry Skies spirit artifact. If the two of them knew that Longao didn't have a Starry Skies spirit artifact, who knew what they would think? The biggest reason why Longao's physical defense was so strong was that the Black Tortoise armor had integrated his bloodline and body. Otherwise, the Black Tortoise armor alone would not be able to withstand Lu Chong's attack. Even so, if this continued, he would still be in big trouble. He had to think of a way as soon as possible. In just a few seconds, Longao was hit by dozens of punches. Even if his defense was strong, it couldn't withstand such attacks from a Starry Skies martial artist. His face was a little pale, and his body began to bleed. He absolutely couldn't continue like this. Longao had only practiced the first and second forms of the 36 forms of reincarnation. 2 consecutive sword strikes. The first sword was reincarnation 9 kills, the second sword was reincarnation dance. Under the condition of continuously using reincarnation, Lu Chong was actually injured by the sword chi due to carelessness. Starry Skies spirit artifact. Lu Chong and Fang Ye spat out with shock written all over their faces. The two of them never thought that Longao not only had 3 Starry Skies spirit artifacts, but also possessed a Starry Skies spirit artifact. The two of them could clearly sense that Longao's spirit artifact was very powerful. Could it be a Domain Lord level Starry Skies spirit artifact? Starry Skies spirit artifacts were also divided into different levels. In other words, once an ordinary Starry Skies martial artist had a Domain Lord level Starry Skies spirit artifact, or a Domain Lord level Starry Skies spirit artifact, he could kill an enemy above his realm. If the Starry Skies spirit artifact in Longao's hand was really a Domain Lord level Starry Skies spirit artifact, then the two of them had picked up a treasure this time. So what if it is? Things had already reached this point. Of course, Longao was not afraid to shed all pretense of cordiality. Anyway, if he had to fight, then so be it. At worst, he would die. No matter what happened, Longao was never afraid. Ha ha, Longao, you are really a treasure. I really didn't expect to meet you this time. It's our luck and opportunity. 3 Starry Skies spirit artifacts and a Starry Skies spirit artifact. I really want to see how many treasures and spirit artifacts you have. The more Longao acted like this, the more surprised Fang Ye and Lu Chong were. As long as they could kill Longao, then they could get all the treasures, spirit artifacts, and martial artifacts. Thinking of this, Fang Ye and Lu Chong pressed on step by step. They didn't continue to talk nonsense and directly attacked. Chapter 1762. Fang Ye and Lu Chong's strength was too strong. Longao was simply unable to resist left and right punches. In just a few seconds, Longao was hit by no less than a dozen punches. Longao was sent flying by a punch, his body like a kite with a broken string, falling hard to the ground. This time, the two did not talk nonsense because they had to kill Longao before Wen Lin came back. Otherwise, it would be too late. He struggled to get up from the ground. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Without waiting for Longao to come back to his senses, the two figures came once again. The Samsara sword had disappeared because Longao knew very well that with his strength alone, even if he used the Samsara sword, he could not cause the slightest harm to the two. Another starry sky martial skill, annihilation palm. Both palms moved at the same time, leaving palm shadows everywhere. Starry sky martial skill. The two of them discovered that Longao used another powerful martial technique and were pleasantly surprised to the extreme. In the two's view, the current Longao was like a huge treasure. As long as they could get it, they could dig out endless treasures. Until now, the other party already had 3 starry sky divine weapons and 2 starry sky martial skills. No one knew if the other party had other starry sky divine weapons and starry sky martial skills. Whether it was starry sky divine weapons or starry sky martial skills, the two of them certainly had them. However, compared to Longao's starry sky divine weapons and starry sky martial skills, they were not worth mentioning. Greed. It was because of greed that the two were determined to get Longao's starry sky divine weapons and starry sky martial skills. As long as Wen Lan did not return, the two were confident that they could successfully kill Longao. In the distance, Wen Lin, who was hiding in the dark, had been watching the battle. Several times he wanted to take action, but in the end, he restrained himself. Longao, I want to see how many secrets you have. Wen Lin's insidiousness was no less than the two. In any case, he needed Longao's help to leave here, so he could not take action for the time being. Not taking action did not mean that he was not greedy. Wen Lin was the same as the two of them. He was also determined to obtain the Starry Sky Divine Artifact and Starry Sky martial skill that Longao possessed. It was precisely because of this that Wen Lin didn't intend to make a move. Because as far as he was concerned, Longao still hadn't used all his trump cards. It wouldn't be too late for him to make a move at the last moment. The annihilation palm, endless palm shadows like a tornado, engulfed the two in an instant. Fang Ye snorted coldly. The two of them joined forces and directly broke apart Longao's annihilation palm. He spat out another mouthful of blood. Longao sat down on the ground. With the absolute difference in cultivation level, even if he had a Starry Sky martial skill and a Starry Sky spirit artifact, he was not a match for these two. Could it be that it was all over? F***ck Wen Lin, why aren't you attacking yet? Longao cursed in his heart, as he could clearly sense the aura of a starry sky not far away. Without a doubt, the person hiding in the dark was definitely Wen Lin. Maybe others couldn't sense it, but it didn't mean that Longao couldn't. Even Wen Lin probably didn't expect that Longao could sense his aura. Otherwise, Wen Lin would definitely not act like this. Therefore, Longao could almost say that Wen Lin and Fang Ye were the same. They were not good people. Longao didn't have the slightest complaint, because he knew very well what it meant to have a Starry Sky Divine Artifact and Starry Sky martial skill. Not to mention the three of them, he believed that no matter who it was, after seeing such a powerful Starry Sky martial skill and Starry Sky Divine Artifact, they would not be able to resist such temptation. He wasn't a match for the two of them at all. Even if he continued to fight, he would definitely die. Longao was ready to take a gamble to see if Wen Lin would make a move. Because according to the three of them, if Wenlin wanted to leave this forbidden space, he would have to rely on the help of outsiders. Fang Ye and Lu Chong would not help him, so he was the only one left. If he won the bet, he would be able to escape this time. If he lost the bet, he would be doomed. Longao didn't move? They were not surprised in the slightest because from their point of view, it was already not bad for Longao to be able to persist for so long under their joint efforts. It seemed that Longao was already a piece of meat on the chopping board, waiting to be slaughtered by them. Kill. Fang Ye and Lu Chong couldn't wait any longer. Once they thought that they would be able to get the treasure later, they immediately rushed forward. Right at this moment, Wenlin's figure suddenly appeared and took a palm strike from the two of them. He kept retreating. Fang Ye and Lu Chong looked at Wenlin, who suddenly appeared, and their faces instantly turned cold. Wenlin, you're courting death. Fang Ye's voice was extremely cold, because killing Longao was right in front of them. They only needed to hold on for a few seconds and they would get everything they wanted. However, because of Wenlin in front of them, they couldn't get what they wanted. Fighting 2 against 1, the two of them didn't have full confidence that they could defeat Wenlin. Smiling, Wenlin said with an unconcerned expression, "The two of you are really shameless to the extreme. No matter if it's good or bad, it's all Brother Long's and not yours. You want to snatch it by force?" He didn't continue speaking, but the disdain and ridicule on Wenlin's face became more and more intense. Hearing Wenlin's words, not only Fang Ye and Lu Chong snorted, even Longao cursed in his heart. They had seen two-faced people, but they had never seen such a two-faced person. Wenlin was 1,000,000 times, 1,000 times, or even 10,000 times more shameless than the two of them. Fang Ye sneered and said, "Wenlin, Longao might not know what you're thinking. Are you trying to lie to us?" Without giving Wenlin any chance to speak, Fang Ye continued to ridicule him. "Wenlin, I can say with certainty that as long as Longao helps you leave here, you will definitely get his things by hook or by crook. Therefore, you are countless times more shameless than us." Wenlin cursed in his heart, but his face remained calm, because what Fang Ye said was exactly what he was thinking. As long as Longao helped him leave, he would definitely snatch Longao's treasures. There was no doubt about this. It would be a lie to say that he didn't want such a powerful Starry Sky divine tool and Starry Sky martial skill. Even Wenlin himself didn't believe it. "Brother Long, do you believe what they said?" Wenlin didn't talk nonsense with Fang Ye. He just turned around and asked Longao. Longao certainly believed it, but in this case, he knew very well that as long as he said that he believed it, not only Fang Ye and Lu Chong, but also Wenlin wouldn't let him go. Due to the situation, Longao could only say helplessly, "Big brother one, I certainly won't believe what they said. They are just two shameless things. Longao, hand over the things and we can help you break through to the Starry Sky realm. If you help him, you will definitely die in the future." Chapter 1763. How could Longao not know what Fang Ye said? "Fang Ye, you just want everything I have. Let me give you a piece of advice. It's best if you give up." No matter what Wenlin meant, Longao had decided to bet on Wenlin. The reason was simple. At least Wenlin would not attack him in the forbidden area. That was enough. As for what would happen after leaving the forbidden area, he would take it one step at a time. Since she had already said that, Fang Ye definitely wouldn't say anything more. In the current situation, they could only fight. "Brother Long, the Starry Sky divine weapon in your hand is very powerful, but with your strength, you can't break this space. It should be no problem if you and I work together." He directly ignored Fang Ye and Lu Chong. Wenlin left slowly with Longao. From the beginning to the end, Fang Ye did not continue to attack. Both Fang Ye and Lu Chong knew very well that as long as Wenlin was alive, they would not be able to kill Longao. Both of them had ugly expressions on their faces. At the passage. It was the passage that Longao and Madman Yi came in. According to Wen Lin, this was the only way to break it. Since things had come to this point, could Longao refuse? Obviously not. Next, Longao held the samsara sword in his hand. In the next second, the power in Wen Lin's body surged into Longao's body like waves in the sea. Ah! With a roar, Longao slashed the samsara sword in his hand at a point in front of him. If it was just Longao alone, it would be impossible to break the space passage. But with the help of Wen Lin, a level 3 starry sky cultivator, it was completely different. There was a loud boom. The whole space began to tremble violently. With a surprised look, Wen Lin immediately left with Longao. In the blink of an eye, they had left the forbidden area. Little Ya, it seems that Wen Lin has to leave here. In these 10,000 years we have also wasted too much time. The decision we made back then was wrong. Taking advantage of this time to leave, other than killing Longao, it will also be of great benefit to our future cultivation. He was very unwilling to accept this. However, since things had already come to this, Lu Chong could only choose to compromise. The two of them did not continue to stay either. Because when Lin chose to forcefully break through, this forbidden space would be completely destroyed very soon. If he didn't choose to leave, only death awaited him. Outer Sea. Big Brother One, you've already smoothly left the forbidden space. Are you going to make a move against me? Having made things clear, Longao did not want to dilly-dally. Wen Lin was a starry sky martial artist. Once they chose to deal with him, the consequences would be very troublesome. If he was alone, Longao wouldn't be worried at all. But if Wen Lin were to deal with his family, what would he do? Brother Long, the reason why I didn't make a move earlier was because I wanted to see your background. Without speaking, Longao could sense that Wen Lin did not have any killing intent towards him. If they were in the forbidden space, he would naturally be worried. But since they had already come out, Wen Lin had no reason to continue hiding. Brother, forgive me for being blunt, but the secret on your body is not simple. Originally, I wanted to take a look, but at this point, I don't want to investigate any further. I only have one request, and I hope you can agree to it. Tell me. Longao did not immediately agree. If Wen Lin's request was too much, would he have to agree to it? It's very simple. If you and I leave, I believe Fang Ye and Lu Chong will leave with us. A battle will be inevitable in the future. As for you, I believe the two of them will not let you go. Whether it's for me or for you, we should join forces. What do you think? Join forces? Longao was almost certain that Wen Lin did not have any killing intent towards him. This point alone was enough. Big Brother One, am I qualified to join forces with you? Whether it was Fang Ye, Lu Chong, or Wen Lin, they were all true starry sky martial artists. With his strength, he could not intervene in the battle between the three of them. Brother Long, I don't need to say more about your situation. I believe you know it better than I do. Okay, I agree. Wen Lin and Longao reached a temporary agreement and left the forbidden space. Longao did not stay for long. After all, there were still many things waiting for him in the Dragon Valley. Not long after Longao left, Fang Ye and Lu Chong also rushed out. When they saw Wen Lin but did not see Longao, the two of them had already guessed something. Wen Lin, you have already left the forbidden space. Shouldn't you hand over Longao? From now on, the grudge between you and me will be written off. What do you think? Wen Lin had already left. Fang Ye knew very well that as long as Wen Lin was willing, once he left the intermediate plane and entered the vast starry sky, it would be impossible for the two of them to find him. In that case, they would deal with Longao first. As for the grudge between them and Wen Lin, there would be plenty of opportunities in the future. Fang Ye, Lu Chong, you have sealed me for 10,000 years. Are you going to let it go just like that? What do you want? Fang Ye waved her hand and stopped Lu Chong. She sneered and said, Wen Lin, if we fight alone, maybe we can't compete with you. But if we join forces, you can't do anything to us. If we continue to fight like this, I'm afraid both of us will be injured. Since everyone has left the forbidden space, why don't we kill Longao and divide the treasures equally? As for the grudges between us, you can end it if you want. If you can't swallow this, we'll wait for you. What do you think? Fang Ye had already chosen to compromise. If it were not for Longao, she would not have done this. In the end, it was because the treasures on Longao were too tempting. Let me give you a piece of advice. You better give up. You have already said that if we were to fight one-on-one, neither of you would be a match for me. In this case, can I take you down one by one? I might not be able to do it in the forbidden space, but since I have already left, can you two guess if I can do it? Fury. Fang Ye and Lu Chong were very clear that Wen Lin wasn't trying to trick them. If Wen Lin insisted on doing this, they would be in huge trouble. It was better to be safe than sorry. If one of them died, then the remaining one would definitely not be a match for him. However, Fang Ye refused to lower her head. Back then, she had sealed Wen Lin. She was confident that she could do the same now. Just as Fang Ye was about to speak, a terrifying power enveloped the three of them. Sensing that power, Fang Ye, Lu Chong, and Wen Lin all let out startled cries. The Starry Sky Domain Emperor. The three of them knew what the Starry Sky Domain Emperor represented. They couldn't understand how the current Martial Heaven continent still had such a supreme expert. In front of the Starry Sky Domain Emperor, the three of them were like ants. Chapter 1764. The three of them had no idea what was going on. The three of them were enveloped by the power of the Star Domain and disappeared. Within the Crystal Palace, Master God Diviner, looking at the man in front of them, the three of them respectfully bowed. Master God Diviner was the strongest expert of the Martial Heaven continent. Even in the vast starry sky, he was a powerhouse. Let alone them, even other Starry Sky Domain Emperors wouldn't dare to provoke such a super expert. The three of them had never imagined that Master God Diviner would be in a small mid-ranked plane. But it had to be known. After breaking through to the Starry Sky Domain Emperor realm, let alone a mid-ranked plane, even a high-ranked plane could be easily obtained. Since the three of you have left, behave yourselves. Don't kill the innocent. Otherwise, I'll kill you without mercy. They jumped in fright. The three of them didn't dare to say a word. They immediately replied in unison, "We will definitely remember your words." Seemingly satisfied with their attitude, Master God Diviner suddenly said, "For 3 years, no matter who it is, you are not allowed to touch Longao. After 3 years, I won't interfere." Hearing this, Fang Ye, Lu Chong, and Wen Lin were a bit dumbfounded. They didn't know why Master God Diviner had suddenly chosen to interfere. Was there a relationship between Longao and Master God Diviner? Fang Ye and Lu Chong seemed to want to ask something, but in the end they restrained themselves. "You've wasted 10,000 years. That was an extremely stupid thing to do. Let me give you a word of advice. Break through your own strength as soon as possible. Otherwise, you'll be in big trouble." The three of them naturally didn't doubt Master God Diviner's words. After bowing respectfully once more, the three of them slowly left the room. In the entire Crystal Palace, only Longao was left. Golden light flashed. Master God Diviner suddenly smiled and muttered to himself, "It's time for the game to begin. I hope someone can charge out this time." After leaving the outer sea, Longao returned to the Dragon Valley as quickly as possible. Longao didn't mention what had happened in the forbidden space to anyone, including Xiling, Bai Ling, or even Long Fu. The million-corpse demon army had been completely refined. The next step was to deal with the Long family. Night. The 9 heavens were dotted with stars. Longao hugged Aoshue and fell asleep. This request was made by Yuyin. According to Yuyin, Aoshue's younger sister was in a special situation and needed Longao's company. He was very touched. He felt even more guilty. Ever since he had entered the Sky Martial continent, he had very little time to accompany Yuyin and Aoshue. Bai Ling was still alright, at least she was always by his side. Longao had decided that after settling the matters of the Tianwu continent, even if his cultivation base had broken through to the Starry Sky realm, he would spend some time with his family and loved ones. Longao didn't cultivate and fell asleep with Aoshue in his arms. After all, Master God Diviner had already informed him that when Lin and Fang Yu weren't going to do anything to him, which was a huge relief. In his dream, the vast starry sky was boundless and countless planes stood in the starry sky. At this moment, the vast starry sky was filled with sounds that shook the starry sky. 12 rays of light streaked across the starry sky. Following that, 12 huge stone tablets appeared, standing tall in the vast starry sky. It was a magnificent sight. The 12 Chaos Stone Tablets were the 5 Elements Chaos Stone Tablet, Devouring Chaos Stone Tablet, Lightning Chaos Stone Tablet, Space Chaos Stone Tablet, Time Chaos Stone Tablet, Destruction Chaos Stone Tablet, Reincarnation Chaos Stone Tablet, Slaughter Chaos Stone Tablet, Divine Divination Chaos Stone Tablet, Sword Intent Chaos Stone Tablet, Immortal Tyrant Body Chaos Stone Tablet, and Darkness Chaos Stone Tablet. The 12 Chaos Stone Tablets represented 12 different powers, the 12 strongest powers in the vast starry sky. In the blink of an eye, the 12 Chaos Stone Tablets transformed into people. There were men and women, old and young. The 12 people emitted intense light as they surrounded each other and fiercely collided. The people who had the 12 Chaos Stone Tablets were the 12 rulers of the vast starry sky. Longao couldn't hear what the 12 rulers were saying in his dream. After a few minutes, the 12 rulers started fighting each other. The battle spread throughout the vast starry sky. "Brother Long, what's wrong? Brother Long, don't scare me. Don't scare me." Not only Aoshue, but even Bai Ling and Yu Yin were there. Looking at the trembling Longao, the 3 girls didn't know what was going on. Xiling's figure suddenly appeared. "Sister, what's wrong with Brother Long?" Seeing her sister appear, Bai Ling seemed to have found her pillar of support. She couldn't wait to ask. Xiling had already sensed it. Her face was very serious. She said, "It should be some kind of power that's pulling Longao." The 4 of us appeared at the same time, hoping to save Longao. Hearing Xiling's words, Bai Ling and the others were shocked. They didn't dare hesitate and immediately attacked. Aoshue and Yu Yin had reached Nirvana realm. As for Bai Ling and Xiling, they were nothing. The 4 of them together were very powerful. 4 lights entered Longao's body and slowly stabilized Longao's trembling body. About an hour later, Longao's body began to stop shaking. Slowly opening his eyes, Longao looked at the 4 girls in front of him. He asked curiously, "Why are you all here? What happened just now?" "Longao, what did you do?" "What did I do?" Longao seemed to think of something. He said with shock, "I don't know why, but when I broke through, I had a very strange experience. In the vast universe, the 12 Chaos Tablets turned into 12 rulers of the universe. The 12 of them fought each other, and the battle spread across the entire universe. As for what happened after that, I don't remember. This dream was very strange." Bai Ling and the others looked at each other and nodded helplessly. Then they all looked at Xiling, including Longao. They hoped that Xiling would know the reason. "I don't know about Longao's situation, but Longao, I am sure of one thing. Your life is not simple. If you really are a reincarnated body, then your original body must be very powerful. Otherwise, there is only one explanation, and that is the Swallow Chaos Tablet in your body." Both possibilities were possible, but Longao believed in the second one. No matter how powerful his original body was, it couldn't be the ruler of the universe. It could have been the Swallow Chaos Tablet in his body that triggered the energy response. Longao didn't dwell on this question because he knew that with his current power, there were some things he couldn't do even if he knew. It was better to deal with the current situation first. As for the future, he would take it one step at a time. He would cross the bridge when he reached it. Longao didn't want to talk about it, and Xiling and the others didn't ask. As for whether this was a good thing or a bad thing, no one knew. The four of them hoped that it was a good thing. P.S. Tomorrow's explosion. Tonight's update will start at midnight. Chapter 1765. Master, Elder Yun has an urgent matter to discuss with you. Longao was a little confused, because he knew Yun Luoshan's character well. If it wasn't something important, Yun Luoshan would never bother him. Could something have happened to the sect? Now that the sect had just become one of the top 10 sects, its foundation was still unstable. There would be a lot of trouble. He didn't dare to be careless. Similarly, he didn't dare to hesitate. Longao took Luli and Chief Elect with him and left the Dragon Valley, returning to the Massacre Abyss. As soon as he stepped into the Dragon City, "Master, there's good news. F***ck. He cursed fiercely. So it was a good news, but they made it sound like a bad news. Elder Yun, next time tell me what's going on. If I have a weak heart, I'll be scared to death." Yun Luoshan chuckled awkwardly and said, "Master, not long ago, Lord Clairvoyant sent a Starry Sky order." Starry Sky order? What was that? Longao took the so-called Starry Sky order from Yun Luoshan's hand and a message instantly entered his mind. Every 10,000 years, Lord Clairvoyant would open the Starry Sky secret realm. Every force would be given 2 quotas. In addition to the Master, the other quota was given to each sect's old ancestor. A total of 20 people would enter the Starry Sky secret realm to compete for the Starry Sky inheritance, Starry Sky divine artifacts and Starry Sky martial skills. The Starry Sky secret realm was a place that every cultivator dreamed of entering. Longao was pleasantly surprised when he sensed the message. Generally speaking, regardless of the level of a Starry Sky cultivator, the Starry Sky inheritance would not last more than a year. In other words, if no one devoured it within a year, the Starry Sky inheritance would disappear. There were exceptions to everything. Some Starry Sky cultivators would be refined by other Starry Sky cultivators into an eternal Starry Sky inheritance. There was another situation, which was when a Starry Sky cultivator died, the Starry Sky inheritance could be turned into a Starry Sky Godhead. This kind of Starry Sky Godhead was also eternal. According to Lord Clairvoyant, there were countless Starry Sky Godheads in the Starry Sky secret realm. No matter who obtained them, they would belong to him. Who could resist such temptation? Who should he bring? No matter what, his sect was different from other sections. Not only was he the founder of the Dragon sect, but he was also the master of the Dragon sect. In other words, the master and the great ancestor were the same person. Mount Yunluo? Yunfeng? Or was it Azurite and Chief Elect? The 4 of them did not seem to be suitable. After thinking about it, Longao finally decided to go to the Star Secret Realm alone. If he was lucky enough to obtain 8 or 10 Starry Sky God deities, he could definitely create 8 or 10 Starry Sky cultivators. Even Longao couldn't resist such a good thing. The Starry Sky Secret Realm was set to open a month later. Originally, Longao was prepared to deal with the Long family. However, because of the Star Secret Realm, Longao decided to temporarily give up. This was because entering the Star Secret Realm this time could be said to be extremely dangerous, with a slim chance of survival. There were a total of 19 people in the Star Secret Realm, and he was the only one in his sect. Longao knew very well that the other 9 superpowers, the Long family, the Alchemy Guild, the Martial Artists Alliance, the Wanshou sect, the 5 Elements sect, the Wanzhan School, the Sword sect, the Purple Thunder sect, and the Azura Palace, were all Nirvana reborn martial artists. He was the only one who was in the unity of heaven and man realm. Even if he was talented, he could only break through to the cycle reproduction realm in a month's time. It was impossible for him to break through to the Nirvana or Nirvana Reborn realm in a month's time. There was only one way. Longao had already thought about it. No matter what happened, he had to raise his cultivation to the cycle reproduction realm in a month's time. There was no time to waste. Longao wasn't the only one. The other 9 superpowers had all received the Starry Sky token from the Clairvoyant Master. No one would be able to resist such a temptation. Long Tian and Tong Zun originally didn't want to enter the Starry Sky secret realm. They weren't idiots. They had already obtained their core energy and could just wait for their breakthroughs. As for what had happened 10,000 years ago when the Starry Sky secret realm had opened, no one knew. When the 10 ancestors of the Star secret realm had risen, the Martial Heaven continent had been in chaos. There had been no Star secret realm. That was why Long Tian and Tong Zun hadn't wanted to enter. But could they? Clearly not. The Clairvoyant Master's message had been very clear. The 2 of them had to enter. Otherwise, there would only be one result waiting for them. They would be killed without mercy. The 2 of them didn't dare to go against the Clairvoyant Master's will. Even if they didn't want to go, they had no choice. Whether it was Long Tian or Tong Zun or the others, they had all put aside their grudges. They all knew that they had to prepare for the Starry Sky secret realm. Whether it was good or bad, as long as they passed, everything would be fine. As for Longao, no one would care what he did once they entered the Starry Sky secret realm. 1 month's time. The Clairvoyant Master had only given them 1 month to prepare. As for the matter of the Starry Sky secret realm, only 19 people knew about it. The Clairvoyant Master also forbade anyone from leaking it, or they would be killed without mercy. No one doubted the Clairvoyant Master's words or his power. Let alone one-on-one, even 19 people working together wouldn't be a match for the Clairvoyant Master. The Slaughter Abyss. Within Dragon City, Longao was cultivating with all his might, but he was still unable to find a breakthrough point. He was very depressed. He was getting closer and closer to the 1-month deadline. The more power he gained, the better it would be for him. Who knew what was inside the Starry Sky secret realm? Opportunities and dangers coexisted. Longao didn't believe that there was a free lunch in this world. Let alone the Starry Sky secret realm, just the others had to be prepared. Otherwise, even if they were ambushed, they wouldn't know. Breakthrough. He was still unable to break through. Longao's heart was a little chaotic. The more it was like this, the harder it was to break through the bottleneck, especially at such a critical moment. Longao clearly knew that it wasn't the right time, but he couldn't help it. Chi deviation. If Longao continued like this, there would only be one result, and that was chi deviation. However, at this moment, a cool chi flow instantly entered his body. It was like a person who was filled with fire suddenly swallowing an iceberg. It was very comfortable. It was also because of the cold chi flow that the bottleneck that he couldn't break through was like the sea breaking through an obstacle. It was unstoppable. Within Longao's dantian, the power began to multiply. It was the cycle multiplication realm that was above the unity of heaven and man realm. After stabilizing for 6 hours, Longao finally stabilized. He turned around and looked at the man in front of him. "Thank you for your help, big brother." Chapter 1766. The person who helped Longao break through was none other than Long Batian. At Long Batian's request, Longao had no choice but to address him as his big brother. It was very strange. He was the ancestor, but he had to address him as his brother. Longao still couldn't figure out why the ancestor did this. He was very satisfied. Long Batian said with a smile, "Second brother, with your talent, not to mention in a mid-level realm, even in a high-level realm, you'd be a great existence." A high-level realm? Longao didn't dare to imagine. According to Xiling and the Clairvoyant, the vast universe was divided into 3 levels: low-level, mid-level, and high-level realms. Low-level realms couldn't produce starry sky martial artists. As for high-level realms, they were countless times stronger than mid-level realms. In other words, no matter which high-level realms it was, there would be countless experts and geniuses. Second brother, I believe you already know about the Starry Sky's secret realm. Yes. Longao had already guessed that his big brother was here for the Starry Sky's secret realm. Otherwise, why would his big brother come at this time of all times? Second brother, the Starry Sky's secret realm is the clairvoyance test. If you can pass it, your future will be bright. If not, you'll never be able to come out. Longao wasn't surprised at all. He had already guessed it. Could it be? As if thinking of something, Longao asked, Big brother, have you also entered the Starry Sky's secret realm? Yes, otherwise I wouldn't have achieved what I have today. However, my talent isn't as good as Tiandao's. I need to constantly devour Starry Sky divine sparks to break through, while Tiandao has to comprehend and cultivate. At the mention of this, Long Batian clearly felt a deep sense of helplessness. Comparisons were odious. Although Long Batian didn't say it explicitly, Longao had already guessed. Not only his big brother, but even Tiandao had also entered the Starry Sky's secret realm. It seemed that both of them had passed the clairvoyance test. It was hard to imagine if they could come out of the Starry Sky's secret realm if they couldn't pass the test. There was only one answer: they definitely couldn't come out. Second brother, after so many years, Tiandao and I don't even know how many times the Starry Sky's secret realm has opened. But no matter how many times it opened, among countless people, only Tiandao and I have successfully left. Shocked. Longao was completely shocked. Master God Diviner's test was simply too awesome. Out of so many people, only 2 had made it out alive. In other words, once the 19 of them entered the Starry Sky's secret realm, it was almost impossible for anyone to come out alive. With a deep sigh, Long Batian continued, Tong Zun and Long Tian have been chosen by the clairvoyant. Unfortunately, their talents are limited. Even if they obtain the origin energy, they may not be able to achieve great things. Otherwise, the clairvoyant would not have opened the star secret realm. He was shocked again. Longao knew that the old ancestor would definitely not deceive him. If the ancestor hadn't said it himself, it would be hard to imagine that Tong Zun and Long Tian had already obtained the origin energy. Fortunately, the marvelous mathematician was about to open the Starry Sky's secret realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to deal with them once they reached the Starry Sky realm. As for whether the 2 of them could come out alive after entering the Star Secret realm, it was still unknown. Big brother, what should I do? Longao was no fool. Since his big brother had come here specifically for the Star Secret realm, he would definitely have a way to deal with it, just as he had expected. Second brother, I can't tell you about the Star Secret realm. Otherwise, I won't be able to answer to the clairvoyant. Although the Star Secret realm is full of danger, it is also full of opportunities. If you can come out alive, you can at least reach the Nirvana Rebirth realm, or even break through to the Starry Sky realm. This was not what Longao was concerned about. He had already decided that even if he could obtain a Starry Sky Godhead in the Star Secret realm, he would never choose to devour it. As for how to deal with it, you just have to listen to me. After entering the Star Secret realm, let go of all your grudges and work together to pass the test. Otherwise, none of you will come out alive. Work together? How could he work together? What a joke. He could work together with his master and the others, but how could he work together with Tong Zun, Wan Shou ancestor, Long Tian and the others? It would be good enough if they didn't start a war. Second brother, I know what you're thinking, but this is the only way. Don't worry, when they enter the Star Secret realm and encounter danger, they will definitely agree to help you. I understand. If that was the case, he could only do as he was told. No one was willing to die in vain, even Longao was no exception. Second brother, I've discussed with the clairvoyant. Your cultivation time is very short, so I can make an exception and give you something. But remember, don't use it unless it's a matter of life and death." With that, Long Batian took out a fist-sized golden liquid and said, "This is part of my power. After entering the star's secret realm, you can use my power if you're in a life or death situation. You only have one chance, so don't use it recklessly." He carefully took the treasure from his big brother. Longao knew very well what it meant. It was like a second life for him. Longao was well aware of the old ancestor's strength. A part of the strength of a level 9 starry sky cultivator was enough to dominate the world. Taking the power, Longao said gratefully, "Big brother, thank you for this. There's no need to be so polite between brothers. I only hope that you can break through to the starry sky realm as soon as possible and leave this small mid-grade plane to see the outside world. You can get better resources and opportunities there. Otherwise, you'll have to stay here forever." At this point, Long Batian obviously didn't want to continue, but Longao understood the meaning behind his words very clearly. Longao certainly knew what his big brother meant. There were countless powerhouses in the vast starry sky. Longao was also looking forward to the vast starry sky, but his cultivation had just broken through to the heavenly cycle reproduction realm. There was still a long way to go before he could break through to the Nirvana fate realm. Who knew when he could break through? Even if he broke through to the Nirvana rebirth realm, what about the starry sky realm? If he simply devoured the starry sky inheritance or starry sky godhead, it would be easy to break through to the starry sky realm. However, Longao didn't want to do that. He wanted to reproduce his own origin energy. Although it was difficult, once he broke through to the starry sky realm, the benefits would be great. Everything had its pros and cons. After thinking about it, Longao decided to reproduce his origin energy instead of devouring the starry sky inheritance or origin energy. Long Batian certainly knew what his second brother was thinking. That was why he supported Longao's approach. He had taken the wrong path, but he didn't want Longao to take the wrong path. Chapter 1767. Long Batian left. Longao chose to continue his cultivation. He didn't stop just because he had broken through, because Longao knew very well that there was only a slim chance of survival in the star secret realm. The stronger one was, the safer one's life would be. A month's time passed by quietly. Longao also stood up and headed to the Crystal Palace. As for the location of the star secret realm, no one knew except for Master Godly Mathematician. Only Longao was from the Dragon sect. In other words, the Cauldron of 10 Directions was originally supposed to have 20 people enter. In this way, only 19 people would enter. The list was as follows: Long Family, Old Ancestor Long Tian and Master Long Di Tian. Pill Union, Old Ancestor Su Tian and Master Su Rinfeng. Martial Artists Alliance, Old Ancestor Tong Zun and Master Tong Tiendi. Thousand Beasts Sect, Old Ancestor Thousand Beasts and Master Shirchong. Dragon Sect, Master Longao. 5 Elements Sect, Old Ancestor 5 Elements and Master Sima Tuesday Wanzhan School, Old Ancestor Scorching Sky and Master Lin Junhong. Sword Sect, Old Ancestor Jian Tian and Master Murong Guina. Purple Thunder Sect, Old Ancestor Purple Thunder and Master Yi Tianhua. Azura Palace, Old Ancestor Xing Kuan and Master Xing Yu. A total of 19 people came to the Crystal Palace. No matter who they were, even if they had a grudge against their father, they wouldn't dare to cause trouble here. What a joke! If they dared to cause trouble outside the Crystal Palace, they would die without a doubt. No matter what, Master Godly Mathematician's strength was there for all to see. Come in. Hearing Master God Diviner's message, Longao's group of 19 entered. However, when Long Tian and the others brushed past Longao, they radiated killing intent. If it weren't for the fact that they were outside the Crystal Palace, Long Tian and the others would have already attacked. Inside the Crystal Palace, the 19 people bowed respectfully. Greetings, Master Godly Mathematician, the strongest expert in the Sky Martial Continent, not to mention 19 people. Even the heavenly Tao wouldn't dare to provoke Master Godly Mathematician. This was the status and identity brought by strength. Status. Everyone, please sit. Everyone sat down without the slightest bit of politeness. Longao was the last seat, and in front of him was Funtian. No matter what, among the crowd, there were two people who had the best relationship with him. One was his master, Funtian, and the other was Big Brother Zile. I believe everyone already knows the purpose of our visit. Calm. The Starry Sky Secret Realm opens once every 10,000 years. Aside from the Starry Sky Godhead and Starry Sky martial skills, there are also Starry Sky divine artifacts. However, let me tell you, although there are many opportunities in the Starry Sky Secret Realm, it is also very dangerous. He was shocked. Although they had guessed that the Starry Sky Secret Realm would be dangerous, they hadn't expected it to be so dangerous. Of the 19 people, not a single one had made it out alive. The Starry Sky Secret Realm has been opened over 100 times. Master Godly Mathematician sighed deeply. Others might not know, but how could Longao not know? The Starry Sky Secret Realm had been opened over 100 times, and only the Heavenly Tao and his big brother had passed. It was easy to imagine how terrifying the trials were. Longao was very clear that those who could enter the Starry Sky Secret Realm were all peerless geniuses of the Sky Martial Continent. The difficulty of this trial will be 10 times lower. Consider it your chance. Let me remind you that once you enter the Starry Sky Secret Realm, you must choose to unite. Otherwise, you won't be able to leave. Unite? How could they unite? Ignoring the others, just Long Tian, the myriad beast ancestor, Tong Zun, and Long Ao's enmity wouldn't be enough. However, since Master Godly Mathematician had said it, no one objected. They had already decided that no matter what their enmity was, they would deal with the Starry Sky Secret Realm first. Batian, you can come out. As soon as Master Godly Mathematician said that, Long Batian walked out from behind him with a smile. Long Batian? Seeing Long Batian walk out from the back, everyone was shocked, especially Long Di Tian and Long Tian. They were extremely shocked, because no one expected Long Batian to suddenly appear here. Why would Long Batian appear here? Long Batian was a peerless figure from 10,000 years ago. He could be considered a descendant of the Long family. However, he was very rebellious and didn't put the Long family in his eyes. He was the first person to betray the Long family. A Starry Sky expert. Sensing the terrifying aura of the Starry Sky Secret Realm coming from Long Batian, everyone was shocked. No one had thought that the Long Batian, who had died back then, would actually reach the Starry Sky Realm. As for what level of Starry Sky Secret Realm Long Batian was, no one could sense it. Master Godly Mathematician, what are your orders? Although Long Batian had broken through to the 9th level of Starry Sky Secret Realm, he was still an ant to Master Godly Mathematician. As long as Master Godly Mathematician wanted to, he could kill Long Batian at any time. Batian, take them to the Starry Sky Secret Realm this time. Remember, don't cheat. Yes, Master. At this time, Long Ao suddenly stood up and asked, Master Godly Mathematician, how long will it take for us to enter the Starry Sky Secret Realm? All the experts of the other 9 superpowers were present, and Long Ao believed that everyone had already informed their sects that no matter how long it took, the Dragon Valley would be fine. However, Long Ao still wanted to know how long it would take. Everyone was a little surprised because Long Ao was the only one who dared to ask. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't have dared to ask. In their opinion, no matter how long it took to enter the Starry Sky Secret Realm, there would be no problem. Master God Diviner chuckled, and didn't seem the least bit angry. That will depend on your speed. However, it won't take more than 3 years. Hopefully, you'll all be able to come out and get what you want. Master Godly Mathematician's figure disappeared, and Long Batian led everyone out of the Crystal Palace. A white light enveloped everyone, and in the next second, they appeared somewhere on the seabed. There was water everywhere, but with everyone's strength, it was easy to force the water away. As soon as they appeared, the 19 people saw a huge whirlpool passage in front of them. There was no doubt that the whirlpool passage in front of them was the passage to the Starry Sky secret realm. Master Godly Mathematician's words are very clear. I don't want to talk nonsense. Let's begin. Long Batian opened the passage, and everyone started to enter without hesitation. One by one, they stepped into the passage. In a short while, everyone, including Longao, disappeared without a trace. Chapter 1768. Within the Star's Secret Realm. The vast space was boundless, and one couldn't see the end of it. A desolate aura swept across the entire space. There were huge rocks everywhere. Look, what's that? Long Tian exclaimed as everyone looked into the distance. It was 3 meters tall and 3 meters wide. It was a square-shaped meatball with spikes all over its body. It looked like a porcupine. What kind of divine beast was that? Everyone, be careful. It's a Nirvana divine beast. We can't determine its rank yet. Before entering, everyone had reached an agreement. Once they entered the Star's secret realm, they had to put aside their grudges and fight against the outside world. They could continue their grudges after leaving the Star's secret realm. No one objected. No one was willing to die here. Longao was shocked. He didn't expect to meet such a terrifying Nirvana divine beast as soon as he stepped into the Star's secret realm. There were at least 100 of them. No one knew anything about the Star's secret realm. But for some reason, all the information about these strange divine beasts appeared in everyone's minds. Stone beasts. Ordinary stone beasts were level 1 Nirvana divine beasts. Only the Emperor Stone Beast was level 5 Nirvana divine beast. They're here. At this moment, hundreds of stone beasts rushed over in a frenzy. No one dared to be careless and started to fight back. Everyone knew that in the Star's secret realm, it was either you die or I die. Once you showed mercy to your enemies, there was only one outcome: death. No one was willing to die here. Although the hundreds of stone beasts were Nirvana divine beasts, they were only level 1 divine beasts and weren't worthy of their attention. 19 people, other than Longao, the rest were all Nirvana rebirth martial artists. 1 against 10. Even so, everyone was still standing strong. Despicable humans. How dare you hurt my descendants? I'm going to tear you into pieces. There was a roar. Immediately after, a stone beast that was more than 5 meters tall charged towards them. The spikes on its body were emitting a cold, killing intent. A level 5 Nirvana divine beast was equivalent to a Nirvana reborn martial artist. With such a strong opponent, no one dared to be careless. Xing Kuan, Thousand Beasts ancestor, 5 Elements sect master, and Jian Tian, the 4 Nirvana reborn martial artists joined forces and attacked the Emperor's stone beast. Things aren't looking good. Everyone formed a circle. Only the 4 great Nirvana rebirth martial artists were still besieging the Emperor's stone beast. Fantion's voice was very solemn as he said, "Although the strength of these stone beasts is not much, their defensive power is very strong. Even with our strength, it will not be easy to kill these stone beasts." There was no need for Fantion to say anything else, everyone already knew. The stone beast's defense was too strong. It was so strong that it was a little abnormal. Everyone's face gradually turned gloomy. Just a moment ago, they were still relaxed because in their opinion hundreds of level 1 Nirvana divine beasts were just a piece of cake for them. T.S. Although they didn't know much about the Starry Sky secret realm, they knew that they had to move forward if they wanted to obtain the Starry Sky divine spark, Starry Sky martial technique, and Starry Sky Divine Artifact. Otherwise, if they were trapped in the Starry Sky Secret Realm, they might not even be able to survive, let alone obtain any Starry Sky Divine Artifact. It's easier said than done. Everyone realized that the Stone Beast's defense was impenetrable. Even Nirvana Reborn martial artists couldn't break through the defense of an ordinary Stone Beast in a short time. If they didn't see it with their own eyes, they wouldn't believe it. This kind of divine beast was unheard of and unseen. The battle between Xing Kuan, Thousand Beasts' ancestor, Five Elements sect master, and Jian Tian, the four Nirvana Reborn martial artists, and the Emperor Stone Beast kept escalating. The Emperor Stone Beast didn't lose even though it was 1 against 4. It was enough to show the Emperor Stone Beast's strength. Most importantly, it was the Emperor Stone Beast's terrifying defense. Otherwise, the Emperor Stone Beast wouldn't have been able to withstand the attacks of the 4 of them. Xing Kuan and the other 3 were also extremely shocked because they were very confident in their own strength. Not to mention the 4 of them joining forces, just any one of them was a super existence that could roam the continent unhindered. But the result? The 4 of them couldn't even defeat a level 5 Nirvana Divine Beast. Shameful, utterly shameful. The 4 of them were depressed to the extreme. The 4 of them looked at each other, and Xing Kuan said coldly, "The 4 of us should work harder. If we get entangled by an ant, where will our face go?" "Ant? How dare you call me an ant?" Hearing them call it an ant, the Emperor Stone Beast was enraged to the extreme. It said furiously, "4 despicable and shameless humans. I'll show you the true strength of the Emperor Stone Beast." The Emperor Stone Beast suddenly released a primordial spirit realm. The primordial spirit power in its body could become its own realm power. It was called the primordial spirit realm. Xing Kuan and the other 3 were not careless. They released their own primordial spirit realms. However, the Emperor Stone Beast's primordial spirit realm had a gravitational space. It was like a mountain pressing down on them. If they couldn't break through the Emperor Stone Beast's defense, it meant that they couldn't kill it. Retreat. The 4 of them didn't continue the battle and returned. The 19 of them looked at each other and saw a trace of shock in each other's eyes. "There's a cave over there. Let's go in first." After fighting for more than 2 hours, everyone was tired and needed to rest. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable if they continued fighting for such a long time. The 19 of them didn't dare to hesitate, and all of them went into the cave. They were very fast and opened a path. After a few minutes, the 19 of them had already entered the cave. The Stone Beast army didn't stop attacking. Fortunately, the entrance of the cave wasn't very big. Otherwise, it would be very troublesome. The 19 of them took turns to guard the entrance. After 2 hours, the Emperor Stone Beast found that it was useless to continue attacking. It ordered them to guard the entrance and kill anyone who came out. Everyone was gasping for breath, because it was really dangerous just now. It was not because of the Stone Beast's strength, but because of the Stone Beast's defense. Also, the spikes on the Stone Beast's body were obviously poisonous. Even if it was them, once they were stabbed, they would have died without a doubt. This is the Vitality Recovery Pill. It's very useful for recovering the primordial spirit. Su Renfeng gave one to everyone except for Longao. As the Alchemy Guild's master, Su Tian and Su Renfeng didn't lack pills. Chapter 1769. Su Renfeng, why isn't there a recovery pill for Longao? Purple Thunder had a bad temper. Of course, he knew what Su Renfeng meant. Among the 10 sects, only the Purple Thunder sect, Sword sect, and Wanzhan school stood by Longao's side. As for the others, even the 5 Elements sect had probably started to draw a line with Longao. Jian Tian also asked in a bad mood, "I hope Master Su can give us an explanation." Cough cough. Su Renfeng said innocently, "Everyone, please calm down. It's not that I'm unwilling to give Master Long the recovery pill, But it's not suitable for Master Long. Why is that? Purple Thunder was a little anxious. Under such circumstances, medicinal pills were like food for ordinary people to them. Among the 19 of us, only Master Long's cultivation hasn't broken through to Nirvana rebirth. He hasn't even reached Nirvana rebirth. The recovery pill is only useful for the primordial spirit. As for the primordial spirit, Su Renfeng didn't continue, but the meaning in his words was very clear. He despised Longao. Even if Longao rose in Su Renfeng's eyes, it was just a small cycle of reproduction. Xing Kuan and the others on the side sneered. Su Renfeng, you've gone too far. Purple Thunder was furious and threw the pill in his hand out. Not only Purple Thunder, but even Fun Tian, Jian Tian, and the others also threw out the pills in their hands. All of you. At this moment, the 5 Elements Patriarch hurriedly came out to smooth things over and said, Master Su, this is your fault. Even if Master Long's cultivation hasn't reached the primordial spirit realm, you should treat everyone equally. Apart from the recovery pill, Su Renfeng also had pills to recover the primordial spirit. It was just that he wasn't willing to take them out. I believe everyone already knows that the divine mathematician warned us before we came in that we must be united. Only by being united can we leave this place. Otherwise we will all die here. Everyone who was at loggerheads just now sat down when they heard the word united. Master, Senior Jian Tian, Big Brother Zilei, I don't need his pills. I'm an alchemist myself. Longao also took out the energy recovery pill and gave one to Jian Tian and the others. As for himself, he took another pill. He felt very uncomfortable in his heart. In Su Renfeng's opinion, the Alchemy Guild had been completely disgraced by Longao. Su Tian gave Su Renfeng a look. Suddenly, Su Renfeng said coldly, Everyone, I have something to say. Master Su, please speak. No one dared to underestimate the Alchemy Guild and the Wanzhan School. The 19 of us entered the secret realm of stars this time. It can be said that we have a slim chance of surviving. If someone wants to sit back and enjoy the fruits of our labor but refuses to contribute, what should we do? Hearing Su Renfeng's words, everyone looked at Longao. Although Su Renfeng didn't mention a name, everyone knew who it was. Su Renfeng, what do you mean? Before Longao could speak, Zilei couldn't stand it anymore. If Longao hadn't held him back, Zilei would have attacked. Xing Kuan and the others sneered in their hearts. They couldn't wait for Su Renfeng to cause trouble. In their opinion, without Longao, they might even say that he was a burden. As for Jianling's primordial spirit, no one cared about it under such circumstances. Ever since they entered the secret realm of stars, their chances of obtaining the inheritance of stars had greatly increased. Why would they still want Longao's Jianling's primordial spirit? Senior Zilei, you don't have to be angry. I know that you have a good relationship with Longao. I don't have any grudges with Longao. I won't cause trouble for him for no reason. I'm just stating the facts. He was obviously looking for trouble. Shameless. Su Renfeng was simply shameless to the extreme. Big Brother Zilei, why bother talking nonsense with him? Longao directly chose to ignore Su Renfeng. What made him curious was that he didn't provoke Su Renfeng. Why would Su Renfeng find trouble with him for no reason? It was as if he owed him 1,000,000 gold coins. Seeing that Zilei was ignoring him, Su Renfeng's anger grew. He didn't know why, but he couldn't stand Longao. He didn't know why. At the end of the day, it was because Longao's strength was too low. Why didn't Su Renfeng dare to offend others? He was a typical bully. Master Long, I've already said that I'm not targeting you. I'm just stating the facts. Among the 19 of us, your strength is the lowest. You can't possibly delay our strength. Am I right? Su Renfeng, let me protect Brother Long. What does it have to do with you? As the old ancestor of the Violet Thunder sect, regardless of status or strength, he was far above Su Renfeng. If it wasn't for Su Tian supporting him, would Su Renfeng dare to act like this? Su Renfeng smiled, not the slightest bit angered. One couldn't help but admit that Su Renfeng was indeed a character. Senior Purple Thunder, although you all can ignore this matter, it doesn't mean that everyone will agree. Before we came in, we had already discussed that we have to work together. You all have been helping Master Long, weakening our strength. I believe everyone has seen the danger earlier. Who knows what kind of danger will appear in the future? Don't tell me we can continue like this forever? Obstructing Purple Thunder, Longao asked, "May I ask Master Su, what do you mean exactly? Please speak clearly, I'm a straightforward person, I don't like to dawdle." Straightforward, since Master Long is also a straightforward person, I won't beat around the bush. Our meaning is simple, Master Long can't be a freeloader. As long as Master Long can go out now and casually kill a stone beast, we will acknowledge your strength. How about it? Su Renfeng you. Purple Thunder could not bear it any longer and immediately attacked. However, at this time, Su Tian also struck out with his palm. The strength of the two was about the same, and neither of them could do anything to the other. Purple Thunder, you've gone too far. Su Tian, I want to experience the strength of the Dan Alliance today. Everyone was not stupid. Su Renfeng was completely trying to kill Longao. If all 19 of them were to move out, they might be able to kill 1 or 2 stone beasts. If they were to go out alone, forget about killing a stone beast, it was unknown if they would be able to return alive. Not to mention Longao, even Xing Kuan might not dare to go out alone. Not to mention Purple Thunder, even Jian Tian and Fen Tian were a little angry. If not for the fact that they were unable to leave the Star Secret Realm due to their unity, they would have already made their move. Shrugging his shoulders helplessly, it seemed that his troubles were endless. Longao did not want to implicate his master and big brother, so he stood up and said with a smile, "No problem, but Master Su, why don't we make a bet and have some fun? P.S. Let's start with 5 chapters. Little 9 will go to sleep first, and we'll continue writing tomorrow. Those brothers who have votes, please vote for Longao. Little 9 will work hard tomorrow, hee hee." Chapter 1770. Bet. Looking at the smiling Longao, for some reason, Su Renfeng's heart skipped a beat. A bad premonition arose in his heart. Could it be that Longao wanted to play some tricks? However, things had already reached this point. Even if he wanted to go back on his word, it was already somewhat impossible. Alright, let's hear it. The bet is very simple. If I can kill a stone beast and return, you will kneel down and admit your mistake. How about it? Furious, Su Renfeng never thought that Longao would propose such a bet. It was simply a great humiliation. One could never be too careful. What if Longao could really kill a stone beast and return? Ha ha ha, Su Renfeng, don't tell me you don't dare? Purple Thunder Ancestor laughed out loud. His laughter was filled with contempt and ridicule. Su Renfeng's face was very gloomy. It was as ugly as it could get. Master Dragon, Renfeng has no problem agreeing to your bet. However, not only do you have to kill a stone beast, you have to kill 2 more stone beasts. How about it? Shameless. Without giving Purple Thunder any chance to speak, Longao had already nodded and agreed. No problem. Brother Long, you have just seen the defensive power of the stone beast. How can you kill 3 stone beasts by yourself? Purple Thunder Ancestor, Jian Tian, Fen Tian and the rest were all very worried. No matter what, the power of the stone beast army was there. If one person went out, it was simply sending himself to death in vain. However, the bet had already been set. If Longao went back on his word, how would he stand for the rest of the time? Big Brother Purple Thunder, don't worry. Wait for my good news. The bet had already been set. Longao would definitely not go back on his word. Stepping out of the cave, his entire figure had already rushed out. Old ancestor, Longao can't really kill 3 stone beasts, right? Su Renfeng was very worried. He was worried that Longao would really win the bet. At that time, he would rather die than kneel down and admit his mistake. Su Tian's face was indifferent, as if he did not take the bet to heart. Even if I lose, it's no big deal. It was said lightly. Su Renfeng cursed in his heart, but he did not dare to say anything. Outside the cave, Longao had only just stepped forward when his aura soared to the max. Using his aura, he pushed the surrounding stone beasts away. Hundreds of stone beasts surrounded Longao so tightly that not even a drop of water could trickle through. As for the Emperor Stone Beast, it stood in the distance and watched coldly. The reincarnation doppelganger appeared instantly. The stone beast's defense was strong? Could he beat the reincarnation doppelganger? The reason Longao dared to make this bet was because he was very confident. He might not be able to kill the Emperor Stone Beast, but killing 3 stone beasts was more than enough. The speed of the reincarnation avatar was very fast. It moved quickly around Longao. In this way, the surrounding stone beasts were unable to get close to him. Longao let out a long sigh of relief. If one were to compare the defensive powers of the stone beasts and the reincarnation doppelganger, the reincarnation doppelganger had a better defense. Not to mention ordinary stone beasts, even a stone beast emperor might not be able to defeat the reincarnation doppelganger. Opportunity. Longao knew that he had to end the battle quickly. Otherwise, once the Emperor Stone Beast reacted, not to mention killing the 3 stone beasts, he might not even be able to return to the cave alive. Even if he used the destruction palm, he would not be able to kill the stone beast. There was only one way to kill the stone beast. Time sure kill technique. Under the double attack of time rewind and time advance, Longao's speed increased by several times, but the surrounding stone beasts slowed down by several times. The reincarnation sword appeared in his right hand. Longao directly used the first move of the 36 reincarnation forms, Reincarnation 9 Kills, and the second move, Reincarnation Chaotic Dance. Longao was very confident that no matter how strong the stone beast's defense was, it would not be able to resist his 36 reincarnation forms. Moreover, it was the power of the reincarnation sword. He did not know if his sword could kill the stone beast. Now, the sword directly entered the stone beast's body. Plop! The stone beast's body directly fell down. Seeing this situation, Longao's heart was immediately filled with joy. He directly kept the stone beast's body on the ground into the dragon seal space. Without the slightest hesitation, he immediately began to kill the second stone beast and even the third stone beast. According to the bet, he had to kill 3 stone beasts. Longao's speed was very fast. Moreover, the star's secret realm did not restrict his spatial teleportation. Therefore, Longao was like a gust of wind. No, faster than the wind. He could not even see his figure. Kacha, kacha. Longao used his fastest speed to kill 2 stone beasts. In less than a few minutes, he had successfully killed 3 stone beasts. The bet had been completed. Longao naturally did not want to continue fighting, because the Emperor Stone Beast had obviously reacted and was rushing towards him at its fastest speed. If it was an ordinary warrior, it would be difficult for him to escape if he was surrounded by an army of stone beasts. Only Longao could use spatial teleportation. Not to mention ordinary stone beasts, even the Emperor Stone Beast could not catch up to him. This was the power of spatial teleportation. Everything was calculated by Longao. Human, I'll tear you into 1,000 pieces. Seeing 3 of his clansmen being killed in succession, the Emperor Stone Beast was enraged to the extreme. It never imagined that the other party would be so powerful. Otherwise, it wouldn't have just watched the battle, and would have directly interfered. Regret, regret. However, things had already reached this point. Even if it regretted, it would not be of much use. Because of this, the Emperor's stone beast madly chased after Longao with endless anger. Before it arrived, its terrifying killing intent had already arrived. Longao was also worried to the extreme. He did not dare to hesitate at all because the distance between him and the Emperor's stone beast was less than 100 meters. With the Emperor's stone beast's speed, it would take at most 3 seconds to reach him. Even if he used spatial teleportation, he had to return to the cave as fast as possible. Otherwise, if the Emperor's stone beast caught up to him, he would not be able to resist its attack. Longao used spatial teleportation to increase his speed to the extreme. The Emperor's stone beast was furious because of the death of its clansmen, and its speed also increased to the extreme. Longao and the Emperor's stone beast, one in front and one behind, were extremely fast. In the end, the Emperor's stone beast still lost because Longao's spatial teleportation was too powerful. This was also because Longao's spatial teleportation was 2 whole realms lower than the Emperor's stone beast. Otherwise, if they were at the same realm, the Emperor's stone beast would not even be able to see Longao's butt. Just like that, the Emperor's stone beast could only watch as the human returned to the cave. It could only stop abruptly. No matter what, there were 18 Nirvana rebirth cultivators in the cave. The Emperor's stone beast was not strong enough to fight 18 Nirvana rebirth cultivators alone. P.S. The 6th chapter has been delivered. Thinking about it, I will continue writing. Chapter 1771. Seeing Longao return without a hitch, everyone was greatly shocked. Su Renfeng, in particular, had an extremely ugly expression on his face, as if his father had died. The 3 stone beast corpses on the ground were placed there. This bet was obviously won by Longao. Purple Thunder laughed crazily and pointed at the 3 stone beast corpses on the ground, making an inviting gesture. His meaning was clear. Anger. Endless anger. Su Renfeng's body trembled because of his anger. Renfeng? Hearing the old ancestor calling his name, Su Renfeng gritted his teeth and knelt on the ground. He said reluctantly, "Master Long, I was wrong this time." Longao ignored him. After this incident, the grudge between him and Su Renfeng had been formed. Not to mention leaving the Star's secret realm, Su Renfeng would not let him go if he had the chance, including Long Tian and Tong Zun. Standing up, Su Renfeng did not say anything else. Originally, this time, he wanted to give Longao a show of strength. This show of strength was very good, and he made himself a horse. Bear with it. Longao must die. Yes, old ancestor. What else could Su Renfeng say now that things had come to this? Shameless humans, how dare you kill my people? I'll give you a chance. As long as you hand over the human who just came out, I'll let you go. At this time, the Emperor's stone beast's voice was suddenly heard. No one expected the Emperor's stone beast to act like this. F***ck off. Don't even think about it. Purple Thunder Ancestor was furious. If Longao had not stopped him, he would have gone out to kill. The 19 of them had reached an agreement. No matter what grudges they had, as long as they did not leave the Star's secret realm, they had to stay together and leave the Star's secret realm. This was the only way to leave the Star's secret realm. Purple Thunder and the others did not agree, but that did not mean Long Tian and the others did not agree. If it were anyone else, Long Tian and the others would not be willing to sacrifice themselves for the sake of the big picture. But Longao was the exception. Many of them hoped that Longao would die, preferably here. Su Renfeng, of course, did not want to take the loss lying down. The opportunity had come. To Su Renfeng, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Master Dragon, you're the one who brought this trouble upon yourself. Shouldn't you step in and resolve it? Everyone present was a sly old fox. How could they not understand the meaning behind Su Renfeng's words? Sacrificing Longao would allow everyone to leave safely. Su Renfeng and the others were naturally willing to do so. They were willing, but Zilei and the others were not. This time, without waiting for Zilei to speak, Funtian, who had not spoken all this while, said, "Master Su, there must be a limit to everything. Otherwise, don't blame us for being merciless." Jian Tian added, "At worst, we'll just split up." Funtian and Jian Tian were very clear that if this continued, Su Renfeng and the others would sooner or later kill Longao. Rather than that, they might as well directly fall out with him. At worst, they could just split into two teams and go their own way. Su Renfeng didn't know what to do. If he offended Jian Tian and the others for Longao, it would be like going for wool and coming home shorn. They didn't care about the lives of Jian Tian and the others. What they cared about was whether they could leave the Star Secret Realm. At this moment, Su Tian stood out and mediated. "Brother Fun Tian, Brother Jian Tian, Brother Zilei, please calm down. Renfeng is just saying. We have already made an agreement before. We must be united and leave the Star Secret Realm together. How can we sacrifice Master Long to help us? Shameless. Despicable." Everyone knew what kind of person Su Tian was. He was a typical person who hid a knife behind a smile. However, under such circumstances, no one was willing to fall out with him. Fun Tian was obviously very dissatisfied and said, "All right, since that's the case, let's say the ugly words first. In this trip to the Star Secret Realm, no matter who obtains the Starry Sky Divine Deity, the Starry Sky Martial Skill and the Starry Sky Divine Weapon will belong to you." Change of strategy. Since it had already come to this, of course, no one would object. There was only one way to get what they wanted in the Star Secret Realm, and that was to rely on their own abilities. "I was wrong just now. Everyone, what should we do now?" Longao had killed 3 stone beasts. Perhaps the Emperor Stone Beast would not let this matter rest. It would not rest until one of them was dead. It would not be easy for them to leave this place. No one paid attention to Su Renfeng, because no one knew what to do. Su Renfeng was bored and could only sit down with a face full of depression and anger. This time, Longao had caused him to lose all face. As the alliance leader of the Dan Alliance, his position was high and mighty, especially the position of the Dan Alliance. He had to take revenge for this. Everyone was silent, because the Emperor's Stone Beast outside would definitely not let this matter rest. They could not be trapped here forever, and once 3 years had passed, they would be teleported out without any result. If that was the case, wouldn't they have come in for nothing? They couldn't accept it, so everyone was thinking of various ways to deal with the Stone Beast, especially the Emperor's Stone Beast. At this moment, Zilei suddenly said, "Long Tian, if I'm not wrong, you still have the Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldron that you used to deal with Brother Long, right?" "That's right. If you can use this divine artifact to deal with the Stone Beast, I can guarantee that we can leave this place smoothly." The Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldron was known as the #1 divine artifact under the starry sky, so everyone was very confident. Normally, Tong Zun would not say that he had the Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldron, but now, he also wanted to leave the Star Secret Realm smoothly and obtain more Starry Sky Godheads, Starry Sky Divine Artifacts and Starry Sky Martial Skills. If they could not leave, even the Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldron would not be of much use. The Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldron could not be brought into the coffin. With Long Tian as a warning, Tong Zun was ready to use the Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldron to deter everyone. Among the warriors of the same level, once they had the Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldron, even Xing Kuan, who was under the starry sky, would not be taken seriously by Long Tian and Tong Zun. Before Long Tian could speak, Tong Zun said, "Brother Long, if you and I work together with 2 Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldrons, I believe we can destroy the Stone Beast race." Hearing Tong Zun's words, everyone was shocked, because they never thought that not only Long Tian had the Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldron, but even Tong Zun also had the Ice and Fire 9-layered cauldron. If it was outside, everyone would be afraid. But now, everyone wanted Tong Zun to have the ice and fire 9-layered cauldron. That way, their chances of leaving the star's secret realm would be higher. Everyone nodded in agreement. Chapter 1772. Even if he was unwilling, would it work? During this special period, if he was unwilling, he would definitely be besieged by everyone. Long Tian would definitely not do such a stupid thing. All right, let's work together and see if we can destroy the stone beast race. He did as he said. Time was money. Tong Zun and Long Tian left the cave, and the moment they appeared, they immediately used the ice-fire 9-layered cauldron, burning to the 8 wastelands and freezing 10,000 miles. The two extreme powers merged together and enveloped all the stone beasts in the surroundings. They thought that they could destroy all the stone beasts. The result? All the stone beasts were safe and sound. It was as if they had taken a hot bath, and all of them looked very comfortable. Seeing such a situation, not to mention Tong Zun and Long Tian, even the others were shocked. The ice-fire 9-layered cauldron was useless against the stone beast race. The 1,000 beasts' ancestor and the others hurriedly took action and replaced the two of them. Since the ice-fire 9-layered cauldron was useless, then the two of them were no match for the stone beast. Everyone was forced back again. Their faces were solemn. If this continued, it would not be a good idea. Everyone, just now when Long Tian and Tong Zun took action, I was confident that I could find a breakthrough. I wonder if everyone wants to try? Hearing Fun Tian's words, everyone was overjoyed. Brother Fun Tian, please speak. Everyone was helpless to the extreme. Even the combination of 2 ice-fire 9-layered cauldrons was not enough. It was hard to imagine what method could be used to destroy the stone beast race. Fun Tian looked at everyone and said, I believe everyone knows that the stone beast's defense is too strong. If we want to end the battle quickly, there is only one way, and that is to pull out the thorns. Pull out the thorns? No one understood what Fun Tian meant. What did he mean by pulling out the thorns? As for the stone beast's defense, everyone had seen it with their own eyes. However, what made many people curious was how Longao did it and killed 3 stone beasts in one go. No one asked, because everyone knew that the reason why Longao was able to do this was definitely not because of his own strength. Fun Tian did not hesitate in the slightest, and roughly explained his method. It was not a method. There was no good way. They could only follow Fun Tian's instructions and pull out the thorns. The 19 of them took a deep breath and then walked out one by one. As soon as they stepped out of the cave, they all split up and headed toward the stone beast. This time, it was not a 4-on-1 battle. Instead, Xing Kun and the myriad beast's ancestor joined forces to deal with the Emperor's stone beast. Among the crowd, Xing Kun and the myriad beast's ancestor were the strongest. Their combined strength was enough to trap the Emperor's stone beast. As for the others, they only had one goal, and that was to finish off the other stone beasts as quickly as possible. Longao was besieged by 4 stone beasts. Fortunately, with the help of spatial teleportation, Longao's speed increased to the extreme. Even if he was besieged, the 4 stone beasts would have a hard time killing Longao. Puchi. With his advantage in speed, Longao grabbed a stone beast and began pulling out the spikes. There weren't many spikes on the stone beast's body, but Longao's speed was very fast. In just a few seconds, a stone beast was pulled out by Longao until it was bald. Just as Fun Tian had guessed, the reason why the stone beast's defense was so strong was all because of the spikes on its body. Once the spikes were pulled out, the stone beast would be like an egg. Not to mention a Nirvana realm martial artist, even an ordinary martial artist could easily break through the stone beast's defense. Not only Longao, but the others also noticed it. Everyone was overjoyed and began to pull out the spikes on the stone beast's body. Shameless humans, I will tear you into pieces. Seeing its clansmen fall one by one, especially when the spikes on its body were pulled out. The Emperor's stone beast was furious to the extreme. However, it was surrounded by the myriad beast's ancestor and Xing Kuan. Monstrous anger. Longao and the others ignored the Emperor's stone beast because they knew very well that they had to end the battle quickly. Otherwise, the longer the battle dragged on, the more disadvantageous it would be for them. Everyone went all out and each of them was extremely fast. About half an hour later, the spikes on the hundreds of stone beasts were all pulled out, and they were killed one by one. Xing Kuan and the myriad beast's ancestor stopped fighting, and the Emperor's stone beast was the only one left in the entire stone beast clan. Looking at the 19 people in front of it, 19 of them were Nirvana Realm martial artists. Except for one, the other 18 were Nirvana Realm martial artists. The Emperor's stone beast's face was filled with anger. Against 19, the Emperor's stone beast was very clear that the chances of him losing were too high. Humans, don't think that I will take revenge if you win. The Emperor's stone beast slowly retreated, and in the blink of an eye, it had disappeared without a trace. No one gave chase. If they were outside, they would definitely not let the Emperor's stone beast go. Only at this time, no one knew how dangerous the Star's secret realm was. The most important thing now was to find a way to leave, and at the same time, find what they were looking for. Everyone, the crisis of the Stone Beast clan has been resolved. Let's move on. Remember, if we want to leave the Star's secret realm smoothly, we have to be united. I hope that no one will fall behind, and don't have any tricks up your sleeves. Once you are discovered, you will be attacked together. No one dared to disobey Fun Tian's words. It was not because Fun Tian was powerful, but because Fun Tian was a powerful array master, the #1 array master under the starry sky since ancient times. Not far away, in the crevices of the rocks, a fist-sized red light ball was constantly flashing. Everyone present was a Nirvana Realm martial artist. Even if Longao had not reached the Nirvana Realm, he could still feel the power of the red light ball. Starry Sky Godhead. That's right, the fist-sized red light ball was the Starry Sky Godhead. It was the Starry Sky Godhead that they had painstakingly sought after entering the Star's secret realm. The Starry Sky Godhead was different from the Starry Sky Inheritance. The Starry Sky Inheritance could only exist for a year, but the Starry Sky Godhead could be indestructible unless it was deliberately destroyed. The biggest difference between the two was that even if the Starry Sky Inheritance was devoured, there was a chance that they would not be able to break through to the Starry Sky realm. However, the Starry Sky Godhead was different. As long as they could devour the Starry Sky Godhead, refine it, and integrate it, they would be able to break through to the Starry Sky realm. If they had to choose between the Starry Sky Inheritance and the Starry Sky Godhead, everyone would definitely choose the Starry Sky Godhead instead of the Starry Sky Inheritance. Looking at the flashing red light ball in the crevices of the rocks, everyone's eyes turned green with greed, including Long Tian and Tong Zun. The two of them knew very well that even if they devoured the origin energy, it was still unknown whether they could break through to the Starry Sky realm. If they could devour the Starry Sky Godhead, it would be a completely different concept. They could certainly break through to the Starry Sky realm. Chapter 1773. The temptation of the Starry Sky Godhead was too great. The crowd did not fight over it like they had imagined. Instead, they stared at it greedily. There were 19 people in total, but there was only one Starry Sky Godhead. It was not enough for everyone. Everyone had to rely on their own abilities. Whoever wanted to get the Starry Sky Godhead would have to rely on their own abilities. Everyone, you can fight for the Starry Sky Godhead. However, let me make it clear that there cannot be any casualties. Otherwise, even if you get the Starry Sky Godhead, I will destroy it. Brother Fun Tian is right. Time seemed to have stopped. In the next second, all 19 people moved. No matter how strong they were, speed was the most important thing. After all, the first person to arrive would definitely be the first to get the starry sky godhead. Among the 19 people, the fastest was definitely Longao. Spatial teleportation was enough to show disdain for everyone else. After a few spatial teleportations, Longao arrived in front of the crack and reached out to snatch the starry sky godhead. Longao, how dare you! Everyone was shocked when they saw that Longao was about to touch the starry sky godhead. Long Tian and the rest ran away in anger. As for Purple Thunder, Fan Tian and the rest, they suddenly turned around and started fighting with the crowd. Their intention was clear. They wanted to help Longao get the starry sky godhead. You guys are cheating. Cheating? Purple Thunder laughed crazily and said, Long Tian, you are really funny. We just said that the fight for the starry sky godhead depends on our own abilities. What's wrong with helping Brother Long get the starry sky godhead? He was left speechless by the question because what the Purple Thunder ancestors said was correct. Fighting for the starry sky godhead depended on one's own abilities. No one said that they could not join forces. Purple Thunder, Fan Tian and Longao could join forces. Tong Zun and the rest could also join forces. However, no one thought that Longao would be the first to get it. It was too late to regret now. Longao was pleasantly surprised when he got the starry sky godhead. He never thought that he would successfully get a starry sky godhead in less than 3 days after entering the starry sky secret realm. Longao had gotten the starry sky godhead. Everyone stopped fighting. Other than Fan Tian and the rest of the people had greed written all over their faces. Longao, hand over the starry sky godhead. You don't have the right to possess it. Hearing Xing Kuan's words, Zilei, Fan Tian, Jian Tian and the others were furious. Xing Kuan, are you going back on your word? How am I going back on my word? We've already said that no matter who obtains the starry sky godhead, no one else is allowed to snatch it. Since that's the case, Brother Long has already obtained the starry sky godhead, we'll have to accept reality. Xing Kuan naturally remembered their previous agreement. He was not willing to give up such a good starry sky godhead to Longao. How could he be willing? The atmosphere was tense. The Violet Thunder sect, the Wanzhan school and the Sword sect, as well as Longao, stood in a single row. As for the other sects, they stood in a single row, glaring angrily at each other. If it had been a starry sky martial technique or a starry sky divine artifact, it might not have been so. However, the starry sky godhead was different. As long as one's cultivation broke through the nirvana realm, they could devour the starry sky godhead, which would guarantee a breakthrough to the starry sky realm. The starry sky godhead was different from the starry sky inheritance. The starry sky godhead had a 100% chance of breaking through to the starry sky realm, while the starry sky inheritance only had a 50% chance. Longao. Waving his hand, Longao didn't want to waste any more words. He said coldly, I have already obtained the starry sky godhead. According to our agreement, this starry sky godhead is mine. You have no right to take it. As for leaving the starry sky secret realm, that's a matter for the future. Xing Kuan and the others seemed to want to say something, but due to the current situation, they could only choose to compromise. If he couldn't leave the starry sky secret realm, even if he obtained the starry sky godhead, it wouldn't be of much use. The starry sky godhead had finally come to an end. There are many dangers ahead. Let's rest for a while. No one had any objections. Unknowingly, the 19 people were divided into 2 groups. Because of Longao, Fan Tian, Zilei, Jian Tian and the others sat together. Hurry up and devour this starry sky god's park. Devouring a starry sky godhead was not an easy task to refine and integrate it. That was why it was better to devour it as soon as possible. If someone else had obtained the starry sky godhead, Fan Tian and the others would definitely be unwilling and might even try to snatch it. Except for Longao. Whether it was Fan Tian, Zilei, Jian Tian and the others, none of them were unwilling. This was because if Longao devoured the starry sky godhead, and became a starry sky cultivator in the future, it would only be beneficial to them. No one could resist the temptation of devouring a starry sky godhead. In the end, Longao shook his head and said, Master, Big Brother Zile, Senior Jiantian, to be honest, I have already obtained the starry sky inheritance many years ago. Moreover, it was the inheritance of a level 6 starry sky cultivator. However, I did not accept the inheritance. The three of them were shocked. They never thought that Longao had already obtained the inheritance before and had not accepted it. If Longao hadn't said it himself, they would have found it hard to believe that there was someone in this world who could resist the temptation of the starry sky inheritance. They asked themselves if they were in Longao's shoes, would they be able to do it? They definitely wouldn't be able to do it. I want to reproduce my own origin energy. As for the starry sky inheritance or the starry sky godhead, I don't need them. Fantion and the others looked at each other and saw a trace of helplessness in each other's eyes. This was because they were very clear about Longao's character. Once he decided on something, under normal circumstances it would not change at all. Longao suddenly looked at Muronguena and said, Everyone, I have already sensed the starry sky godhead and feel that this starry sky godhead is the most suitable for Uncle Murong. If Uncle Murong doesn't mind, why don't you devour this starry sky godhead? As for the others, we will take turns devouring all the starry sky godhead that we obtain later. How about it? Hearing Longao's words, Muronguena was extremely shocked. This was because he never thought that Longao would give the starry sky godhead to him. This was like a pie falling from the sky and smashing onto his head, almost knocking him out. This. Fantion suddenly laughed and said, The starry sky godhead was obtained by Ao. No matter who listens to his arrangements, no matter who obtains the starry sky godhead later, immediately devour it. The remaining starry sky godhead will all be given to Ao. No problem. No one had any objections, because many of them were very clear that Longao was already very good to be able to do this. If they didn't even agree to this, it would be a bit ridiculous. It was already enough for him to be able to devour the starry sky godhead. Even if there was an extra starry sky godhead, it would be useless. He might as well give it to Longao and return a favor. P.S. Chapter 9 has been delivered. There are not enough votes. Those who have votes, please vote for Longao. Little 9 thanks. Chapter 1774. Murong Fong, in particular, was filled with gratitude. He knew very well what the starry sky godhead meant. Even if Longao didn't devour the starry sky godhead, he could have given it to his family. Why would he give it to himself? He did not stand on ceremony and buried his gratitude in his heart. Without any hesitation, Muronguena immediately devoured the starry sky godhead. As for when he could break through to the starry sky realm, it would depend on his luck and refining speed. In the same nirvanic rebirth, some people would only need 3 years to break through to the starry sky realm after devouring a starry sky godhead, while others would need 30 years to break through. There was no comparison between people. Everyone rested for about 2 hours. Everyone stood up and looked into the distance. They had just stepped into the star secret realm, and they had already encountered the terrifying stone beast tribe. It was hard to imagine what kind of dangers they would encounter if they continued on. Unity. We must be united. If it weren't for the unknown dangers ahead, how could Xing Kuan and the others let go of the starry sky godhead? Longao gave the starry sky godhead to Muronguena? When Xing Kuan and the others heard the news, they found it hard to believe that Longao was willing to give away the starry sky godhead so easily. No one continued to dwell on this issue. Even if Muronguena had devoured the starry sky god deity, he absolutely could not make a move at this moment. Everyone proceeded cautiously, step by step. Rubble. Other than rubble, there were more rubble. No matter where he went, there were rubble. It was like a maze. Wait, everyone, be careful. This looks like an illusion array. Hearing Fun Tian's words, everyone was shocked, including Longao. No one doubted Fun Tian's words, because in the Sky Martial Continent, Fun Tian was the #1 array master. Brother Fun Tian, what should we do now? Everyone, be careful. Don't touch the eye of the array. Otherwise, we'll be in big trouble. Boom, boom, boom. Su Renfeng, what are you doing? Just as Fun Tian finished speaking, the entire space started to tremble. Roars could be heard endlessly, as if the heavens were roaring. Su Renfeng was also dumbfounded. Seeing the starry sky godhead disappear, he nearly lost his mind. Without waiting for Su Renfeng to answer, everyone already knew the answer. No one blamed him because the temptation of the starry sky godhead was there. No matter who it was, they probably wouldn't be able to resist such temptation. Everyone, back to back to back to back. Remember, do not move. No one dared to disobey. With regards to formations, other than Fun Tian, who else had the right to speak? The space that was still calm a moment ago was now like a tsunami. Rubble began to split apart, sand and rocks flew everywhere. It was extremely terrifying. Without exception, all 19 of them unleashed their strongest powers and set up their own Yuan spirit energy shield. If a single person were to release a primordial spirit chi shield, there would only be one outcome, and that was to be smashed to death by the rocks. The primordial spirit chi shields released by the 18 of them were extremely powerful when combined. They directly blocked the surrounding rocks from smashing into them. This was the benefit of unity. Previously, there were still people who were unwilling to do so. Seeing this situation, those who were unwilling were very glad. Fortunately, they did not shed all pretense of cordiality before. Otherwise, there would only be one ending for all of them, which was to be directly smashed to death by the rocks. Brother Long, step back. Among the 19 people, only Longao could not release his primordial spirit chi. The reason was simple. Longao's cultivation had just reached the cycle multiplication realm. His divine soul had not transformed into a primordial spirit. He snorted. Su Renfeng and the others were full of contempt and ridicule. In their opinion, Longao was a hindrance. Trash. You only know how to be a hindrance. They ignored Su Renfeng. Longao did not step back. He used the starry sky martial technique, destructive palm. Countless palm shadows formed a palm shadow chi shield. Its power was not inferior to the primordial spirit chi shield. Everyone was a little surprised when they sensed Longao's palm shadow chi shield. They originally thought that Longao's position would be a gap, but they did not expect that Longao would forcefully block it. At the same time that everyone heaved a sigh of relief, they were all guessing how Longao did it. Starry sky martial technique. Xing Kuan seemed to have thought of something and roared in disbelief. Everyone finally reacted. The martial technique Longao just used must be the so-called starry sky martial technique. Otherwise, how could its power be comparable to the primordial spirit chi shield? Longao not only had the starry sky Jianling primordial spirit, but he also had a starry sky martial technique. He really hid it well. Everyone was a little afraid. If Longao did not enter the starry sky secret realm this time, the consequences would be unimaginable if he broke through the starry sky realm in the future. Starry Sky and the others began to have an idea and a decision. Brother Fun Tian, what should we do now? When will the array formation attack stop? Although the 19 people joined forces and temporarily blocked the falling stones, they could not go on like this. After all, their physical strength was limited. Once their physical strength was exhausted, they would die. Fun Tian's face was very solemn. He could not think of a solution for the time being. Funtion's intuition told him that although this illusion array was not a starry sky array, it was above a divine array. Even he had to think about it carefully. Master, I know how to get out. You know? Don't joke around. Hearing that Longao could walk out, everyone laughed, especially Su Renfeng, who laughed even more crazily. His laughter was filled with contempt and ridicule, but more of it was disbelief. Who was Longao? Even Funtion, the #1 array master in the continent, did not know how to break the array. What did Longao have? Funtion was not like the others. Of course, he chose to believe in his disciple and asked, Ao, what should we do? Follow me. Longao took the lead and walked out. Zilei, Jiantian, Moronguena and the others did not hesitate to follow. In their opinion, Longao was not bragging at all. Brother Funtion, do you really choose to believe in Longao? Seeing that Funtion was also preparing to follow, Xing Kuan and the others were a little dumbfounded. Without the help of Zilei and the others, it was very difficult for them to resist the falling stones. It doesn't matter if you don't believe me. I believe you anyway. It's up to you whether you want to follow or not. Funtion did not continue to talk nonsense. He joined forces with Zilei and the others and quickly followed Longao, ignoring the extremely ugly expressions of Su Renfeng and the others. What should we do? The 10,000 beasts' ancestor shrugged helplessly and said helplessly, It's already like this. What else can we do? We don't understand array formations anyway, so we can only follow. Without continuing to talk nonsense, everyone followed Longao and left. P.S. All 10 chapters have been delivered. Thank you everyone for your votes. Tomorrow there will be 10 chapters. Starting from midnight tonight, I still hope that brothers who have votes in their hands will vote for Longao. Little 9 thanks. Chapter 1775. Longao was an array master? Xing Kuan and the others really did not know that Longao was an array master. However, when they heard Longao call Funtion master, everyone already knew that Longao was really an array master. Even so, no one would believe that Longao was the so-called divine-level array master. As for whether Longao could bring them out of the illusion array, that was unknown. Xing Kuan and the others did not believe it at all. The 19 of them worked together to release their primordial spirit chi barrier, blocking the surrounding rocks as they walked. Master, this is the place. Ao, the place you found might be the key to breaking the array. However, if we were to forcefully break the array, I'm afraid, Master, since we're already in this situation, why don't we give it a try? He nodded. Funtion was indeed a divine-level array master. He directly attacked the black spot and the array was instantly broken. The rocks disappeared and everything returned to normal. Seeing that the array had really been broken, everyone was shocked. The way they looked at Longao gradually changed. Even Funtion could not do anything, but Longao had really done it. Xing Kuan and the others were very depressed. They did not feel the slightest bit of joy because Longao had broken the array. The reason was simple. The stronger Longao was, the more disadvantageous it was for them. Everyone, be careful. We didn't really break the array. Everyone who had just heaved a sigh of relief became nervous again when they heard Funtion's words. Everyone had already seen how terrifying the array's attack was. Everyone looked at Longao at the same time. Since Longao could do it just now, they believed that he could do it again. Ao, tell me, what should we do now? What should they do? Longao sensed the aura fluctuations around him and said helplessly, Master, according to my senses and guesses, this shouldn't be an array. The illusion array just now has already been broken by us. Your guess? What makes you guess? He ignored Xing Kuan. Longao, Zilei and the others continued to move forward. As for Xing Kuan, his face was gloomy and cold. However, under such circumstances, Xing Kuan would definitely not fall out with them. He had to consider the big picture and leave the Xing Kuan secret realm smoothly. No one spoke again. Carefully, step by step, they moved forward. It was still a mess of rocks. F***ck, everyone was a little dumbfounded when they saw Long Tian shoot to the left. So, it turned out to be for the Starry Sky divine weapon. No one was a fool. Of course, they knew what Long Tian meant. Although a Starry Sky divine artifact wasn't as attractive as a Starry Sky godhead, the value of a Starry Sky divine artifact was self-evident. A long saber exuded a terrifying aura. It was the aura of the Starry Sky. Even if he couldn't use the power of the Starry Sky divine artifact, the Starry Sky divine artifact would be useful if he could break through the Starry Sky realm. In other words, between cultivators of the same level, the cultivator with a Starry Sky spirit artifact would definitely have an advantage. No one was willing to give up this opportunity. One by one, they all rushed towards the long saber. Everyone began to fight with each other. "Brother Long, why don't you let us take action?" Zile was very curious. Just as he was about to make a move, he was stopped by Longao. What did Longao mean? "It's not worth it for a grade 1 Starry Sky divine artifact." Longao couldn't sense it, but it didn't mean that Bai Ling couldn't sense it. There were 9 different grades of Starry Sky divine artifact. It was not worth it to fight over a grade 1 Starry Sky divine artifact. Purple Thunder Ancestor and the others certainly did not want to, but since Longao had already said so, everyone could only shrug their shoulders helplessly. Because in their hearts, even a grade 1 Starry Sky spirit artifact would be of great use to them. Xing Kuan and the others fought with each other. No one wanted to give in. Although they were fighting, they didn't kill each other. Everyone knew very well that if one person died, they would have less strength. If they had more strength, their chances of leaving the Starry Sky secret realm would be higher. If they were outside, the more people died, the happier they would be. In the end, Xing Kuan was the one who snatched the Starry Sky divine artifact. Since he already had it, the others didn't continue to pester him. Their faces were full of surprise. For Xing Kuan, the grade of the Starry Sky divine artifact didn't matter. What mattered was the Starry Sky divine artifact. If he could successfully devour the Starry Sky divine artifact in the Starry Sky secret realm and break through to the Starry Sky realm, wouldn't it be like adding wings to a tiger? The matter of the Starry Sky divine artifact came to an end. Everyone continued to move forward. In less than 3 days, everyone had already found a Starry Sky divine artifact and a Starry Sky divine artifact. While encountering danger, everyone was pleasantly surprised. It seemed that there were a lot of Starry Sky divine artifacts and Starry Sky divine artifacts in the Starry Sky secret realm. If they continued to search, their chances of finding Starry Sky divine artifacts and Starry Sky divine artifacts would greatly increase. The danger seemed to be far away. Everyone moved forward a lot faster. However, neither the Starry Sky divine artifact nor the Starry Sky divine artifact seemed to have appeared. The more it was like this, the more everyone cursed in their hearts. If they had known this would happen, they would have taken action. The Starry Sky divine artifact had benefited Murong Guena. If Murong Guena had broken through to the Starry Sky realm in the Starry Sky secret realm, the consequences would have been unimaginable. However, the Starry Sky divine artifact had already been devoured by Murong Guena. It was too late to regret. They could only hope that more Starry Sky divine artifacts would appear. It would be best if everyone had one Starry Sky divine artifact. That way, nothing would happen. With the lesson learned from the previous incident, everyone secretly decided that if they encountered the so-called Starry Sky divine artifact again, they would take action no matter what. They must not give it up easily. Otherwise, if they failed to obtain the Starry Sky divine artifact, they wouldn't even have the chance to regret. No matter how long they walked, the surrounding environment was still the same. There were rocks everywhere. Apart from rocks, there was nothing else. It made everyone think that they were still in the same place. If it wasn't an illusion array, it could only mean that they were still inside the space. The unknown was the scariest thing. Until now, no one had the slightest understanding of the starry sky's secret realm. They couldn't even prepare for it. They could only walk forward blindly. No one knew what was ahead. Wait. Ignoring Longao's words, everyone continued to move forward. Only Fun Tian and the rest stopped. Jian Tian asked curiously, "What happened?" "My intuition tells me that someone has been following us. This person's aura is very strong. It's best if we lure this person out and deal with him. Otherwise, this person will be hiding in the dark and we will be very passive." Longao trusted his intuition very much. Fun Tian and the rest did not have the slightest bit of doubt either. Their faces were a little serious as they leaned back to back, trying to find the aura of the rancor that Longao had sensed. Chapter 1776. Xing Kun and the others, who had already walked far away, stopped as well. Should we go back? Although they did not believe in Longao's intuition, they had to admit that Longao could be very mysterious at times. It was better to be safe than sorry. "No need, let's move on." Xing Kun continued to move forward. Seeing the situation, the others eventually chose to follow Xing Kun instead of staying. About 3 minutes later, Xing Kun and the others, who had been living peacefully, suddenly stopped. Before they could react, the rocks around them began to fall again. One after another, it was like a meteor shower. "Everyone, be careful. Ha ha ha, despicable humans, I want all of you to die here today." The Emperor's stone beast suddenly appeared. For some reason, its strength suddenly skyrocketed. Although it had not reached the starry sky realm, it was already half a step into it. In the distance, "It's the Emperor's stone beast." Looking at the gigantic Emperor's stone beast, everyone was shocked. Fun Tian and the others also believed in Longao's intuition. It was very accurate. If we don't take action, we will be in trouble even if Xing Kun and the others die. How could they not know what Jian Tian was talking about? The marvelous mathematician had already reminded everyone that there was only one way to leave the starry sky's secret realm, and that was to unite. Otherwise, everyone would have to stay in the starry sky's secret realm. "Wait. Brother Long, what's going on?" Zilei and the others were very curious. They did not know what was going on with Longao. Could it be that Longao wanted to use the Emperor's stone beast to eliminate Xing Kun and the others? If they were outside, Zilei and the others would not stop him at all. But now, the situation was very special. If Xing Kun and the others died, it would not benefit them at all. It was impossible that Longao did not know about this. "I found something wrong with the Emperor's stone beast. In just one day, its strength skyrocketed. If we act rashly, we will all die in the end." Longao's meaning was very clear. Murong Guena then asked, "What should we do now?" "I've already sensed it. The reason why the Emperor's stone beast's strength soared is because of this space. As long as we can isolate it, the Emperor's stone beast won't be able to resist." Isolating the stone beast Emperor? It was easier said than done, but it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Moreover, how were they going to isolate it? Everyone looked at Longao. Due to the urgency of the situation, Xing Kun and the others would be in greater danger with every minute they wasted. Before leaving the starry sky's secret realm, they didn't want anyone to die. If one person was well, everyone would be well. "Everyone, to tell you the truth, not long ago, I obtained a time martial skill called the time surekill skill." Time martial skill? Everyone already knew that Longao possessed a surekill time skill. However, when they heard Longao say it himself, they could not help but feel surprised. What did a time martial technique mean? Everyone was very clear in their hearts. Among the many martial skills, time martial skills were the most powerful. For so many years, there had never been a time martial skill. Could it be that time martial skills could imprison the Emperor Stone Beast? Longao roughly explained his idea. So Longao's sure-kill time skills had a total of 3 sure-kill moves. They were Time Rewind, Time Prohibition, and Time Advance. Among the 3 sure-kill moves, Time Prohibition was the most terrifying. However, Longao had been unable to master it for so long. The reason was simple. Time Prohibition also contained 2 sure-kill moves. They were Time Imprisonment and Time Crush. Longao was very clear that if he wanted to kill the Emperor Stone Beast, he could only use Time Imprisonment and Time Crush. There was no other way. Relying on his own strength, it was impossible to use such a powerful sure-kill time skill. There was only one way, and that was to borrow everyone's strength. Other than him, there were 6 other people. They were Jian Tian, Murong Guena, Purple Thunder Ancestor, Yi Tianhua, Lin Junhong, and Fun Tian. The 6 of them were Nirvana Rebirth martial artists. There was no need to say much about their strength. Longao had full confidence that as long as the 6 of them lent him enough strength, he could use Time Imprisonment and Time Crush. If it were others, Longao would definitely not make such a decision even if he had to watch Xing Kuan and the others die. Because if he borrowed the strength of others, as long as the other party had the slightest evil intention, he would immediately be finished. However, Longao was not worried about the 6 people in front of him. Otherwise, he would not have done so. Aoer, we have no problem. Let's start immediately. Xing Kuan and the others obviously could not hold on for much longer. At most, they could hold on for a few minutes. Longao nodded and everyone immediately shot towards Xing Kuan and the others. In the blink of an eye they arrived. Ha ha, since all of you are here, I will let all of you go to the west. The Emperor Stone Beast was endlessly furious. It wanted to kill everyone because it was these shameless humans who killed its clansmen. If it did not take revenge, it would not be worthy of being the Emperor of the Stone Beast race. With just you, Longao sneered. At this time, Fun Tian and the other 5 all made their move. All of their strength surged into Longao's body. 6 different but extremely powerful forces just surged into his body. Longao's entire body seemed to be filled with power. This was a rare opportunity. Longao did not hesitate and immediately used his time sure-kill technique, which was the 2 ultimate moves produced by the Time Prohibition, Time Imprisonment and Time Crush. Time Imprisonment. A strange energy fluctuation. Before the Emperor Stone Beast could react, it was horrified to find that the flow of time around it had completely stopped and formed an independent space. This was the so-called Time Imprisonment. Despicable humans! The Time Imprisonment was firmly suppressing the Emperor's Stone Beast. This super expert of the Stone Beast race could be considered extremely depressed. It originally thought that it could easily deal with these humans after absorbing enough power from the space. But in the end, Xing Kuan and the others were dumbfounded. They were very clear about Longao's strength. Since that was the case, how did Longao do it? Xing Kuan and the others could clearly sense that the reason why Longao was able to do this and imprison the Emperor Stone Beast was not because of his own strength, but because of the help of the 6 people. Longao helped, but Xing Kuan and the others did not have the slightest bit of gratitude. This was because in everyone's opinion, the reason why Longao and the 6 people helped was not for them, but for themselves. They did not appreciate it, they did not appreciate it at all. This was the shamelessness of Xing Kuan and the others. If it was not for this special situation, Longao would definitely not have helped. Using the Emperor Stone Beast to kill Xing Kuan and the others, it could be considered as solving a big problem for himself. Chapter 1777. Human, if you let me go, I can give you the Star God Sparks. In the eyes of the Emperor Stone Beast, as long as he took out the Star God Sparks, These humans would definitely not be able to resist the temptation. But the result? Longao did not fall for it at all as he laughed coldly. Using Time Lock, he suppressed the Emperor Stone Beast. Not only that, Longao used Time Crush at the same time. Just like that, the body of the Emperor Stone Beast started to crumble into pieces on the ground. This meant that the Emperor Stone Beast had truly fallen. Looking at the fallen Emperor Stone Beast, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. This was especially the case for Xing Kuan and the others, who slumped onto the ground. Next time, I won't strike again. Hearing Longao's words, no one retorted. Because this time, if not for Longao, they would have already fallen. This was a laughable situation. At the start, Xing Kuan and the others looked down on Longao, thinking that he would be a burden. No matter what, among them, Longao was just a Longao with the lowest cultivation state. But the result? Not only was Longao not a burden, he had even saved them. Otherwise, they would have already fallen. This time around, they rested for a good couple of hours before they stood up and continued. A desolate aura filled the entire place. Everyone could not help but shiver. For some reason, the entire place seemed to have turned colder. It was still a patch of rubble. Everyone stopped and looked around cautiously. Everyone had realized that something was wrong. Especially the illusion formation and the stone beast race. Could there be other dangers? Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Just then, a sizzling sound came from all directions, getting closer and closer. What's that? All they could hear was the sound, but they could not see anything. The more mysterious something was, the more wary they were. Could it be an ice snake? Ice snake? The moment they heard the word ice snake, everyone's face changed, including Longao. Ice Snake, the Emperor of Snakes. Legends had it that snakes were a branch of the dragon race. Only the ice snake was strong enough to fight against the colossal dragon race. But in the sky martial continent, these legendary beasts were already extinct. It shouldn't be an ice snake, right? Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The sound was getting closer and closer. In the next second, countless ice snakes appeared in everyone's sight. Each of them was as long as a finger. They were milky white in color and had a black mark on their forehead. It's really an ice snake. Everyone, get back to back and work together. Looking at the milky white ice snakes, everyone was completely stunned. They never thought that there would be so many ice snakes. The surroundings were densely packed with ice snakes as far as the eye could see. There were tens of thousands of ice snakes. Everyone was flabbergasted, and they retreated back to back. All of them unleashed their nascent divinity energy shield. As for Longao, he used his extermination palm, which combined with his nascent divinity energy shields to form a huge energy shield around everyone. Cold. The icy aura emitted by the ice snake was like a world of ice and snow, directly suppressing everyone. Everyone, including Xing Kuan and the Wanshou ancestor, could not help but shudder. Tens of thousands of ice snakes released a cold aura at the same time. Unless one was a starry sky martial artist, no one could withstand this cold aura. Hurry up and use the Icefire Ninefold Cauldron. At this moment, Tong Zun and Long Tian did not dare to hold anything back. Every minute they delayed increased the danger they were in. 2 Icefire Ninefold Cauldrons. Both of them unleashed their infinite freeze at the same time, hoping to block out the attacks of the ice snake. Initially, they wanted to fight poison with poison. But who would have thought that the ice snakes could ignore the effects of the infinite freeze? There was no way they could lock down the bodies of the ice snakes. Incinerate to desolation was the nemesis of the ice snakes. If Tong Zun and Long Tian had used Incinerate to desolation from the start, they might have been able to chase the ice snakes away. But now, because of the infinite freeze, the speed of the ice snakes was a few hundred times faster. In the blink of an eye, they were here. If both of them were to continue grabbing onto the Icefire Ninefold Cauldron, there would only be a single outcome. They would be devoured by the ice snakes. Of course, both of them did not want to die. Even if they were unwilling to do so, they could only sacrifice the rook to save the king. At the same time, both of them tossed out the Icefire ninefold cauldron in their hands. Seeing this, everyone cursed in their hearts. Damn it, the nemesis of ice is obviously fire. Why did you have to use infinite freeze? Are both of their brains flooded with water? It was too late for regrets. Speaking of depression, the two of them were probably the most depressed. Not only did they make the wrong move, they even lost the Icefire ninefold cauldron. It would be a lie to say that they were not heartbroken. The two Icefire ninefold cauldrons disappeared into the army of ice snakes the moment they were tossed out. The current situation was very dangerous. If they were not careful, they would be doomed. What should they do? Everyone felt a little hopeless. Under such circumstances, it was difficult to deal with the attack of the ice snakes. Because of this, everyone looked coldly at Tong Zun and Long Tian. If it were not for the two of them being careless and making the wrong move, they would not be in such a desperate situation. Fortunately, the air shield formed by the 19 of them was not something that could be broken by the ice snakes in a short period of time. However, if this situation continued, it would not be a solution. More and more ice snakes appeared around them. It was white as if it was snowing. It was very beautiful. However, under such circumstances, no one was willing to admire such a beautiful scene. Brother Fentian, if we work together, we might be able to open an opening. The Purple Thunder Ancestor possessed the power of thunder and lightning. As for Fentian, with the help of the array, he could also possess the power of fire. Thunder and lightning combined with fire should be able to restrain the ice snake. As for whether it could really restrain them, it was unknown. They would only know after trying. The two of them did not hesitate and immediately set up the array. Following that, two different forces fused together and forcefully opened an opening. Just as the Purple Thunder Ancestor had guessed, the power of fire combined with the power of thunder and lightning was the nemesis of the ice snakes. However, it could at most open an opening. It was almost impossible to destroy the army of ice snake. Even so, everyone was pleasantly surprised. Without the slightest hesitation, they seized the rare opportunity and quickly left through the opening. Everyone's speed was very fast. However, the ice snakes were even faster. In front of them was a vast expanse of white. There were ice snakes wriggling everywhere. They could not even see the slightest bit of rocks. No one knew where these endless ice snakes came from. It was as if they had fallen from the sky. They had only been in the Star Secret Realm for less than 4 days, and they had already encountered so many life and death dangers. No one dared to imagine what kind of life and death situations they would encounter in the following days. Whether they could successfully leave the Star Secret Realm had already become an unknown. P.S. Little Nine is very tired and will go rest first. We will continue tomorrow. Chapter 1778. He did not dare to be negligent in the slightest. Fentian and Zilei could not keep using their strength. There would always be a time when they would run out of energy. The situation was very dangerous. Everyone, capture the leader first. If we want to break through the siege of the Ice Snake Army, there is only one way, and that is to find the whereabouts of the Ice Emperor. The endless ice snakes were all level 1 Nirvana divine beasts. As for the Ice Emperor, he was the emperor of the Ice Snake clan. His strength was similar to the Emperor of Stone Beast, and they were both at the peak of the 5th level of Nirvana realm. It was easy to say, but it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. There were so many ice snakes all around. Was it possible to find the location of the Ice Emperor? It was almost impossible. Everyone had a depressed and helpless look on their faces. At this moment, Su Renfeng said with disdain, "Master Dragon, are you joking? Looking for the location of the Ice Emperor, How are we going to find him in the densely packed ice snake army? He had been looking for trouble the entire time. Longao had been enduring all this time. The reason was very simple. Under such a special situation, they could not kill each other. There was only one result of killing each other, and that was that all of them would die. Just like the Emperor of Stone Beast and the current Ice Snake army, if not for everyone uniting to fight against the enemy, everyone would have already died. But now, Longao was very clear that if he continued to endure, then Su Renfeng would continue to bite him and not let him go. Humans were just wretches. The more you endure, the more trouble he will find for you. If you beat him up once, he won't dare to do it again. F***CKU. I'm giving you face, but you don't want it. Just as everyone was caught off guard, Longao gave up on stopping the ice snake's attack and started to attack Su Renfeng fiercely instead. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled in an instant. Everyone was stunned, because in this kind of situation, no matter how big the personal grudges were, they should put it down. It was also because of this that Su Renfeng kept looking for trouble. He was sure that Longao did not dare to make a move, and even if he did, was there a need for him to be afraid? In the end, Master Dragon, quickly stop. Longao, you're too impudent. Quickly stop, or else we'll kill you. Everyone was stunned. If it was a normal battle, with Su Renfeng's strength, he would not be afraid of Longao. Su Renfeng was a Nirvana Rebirth martial artist. Even if his strength was inferior to Su Tian and the rest, dealing with Longao was still more than enough. However, Su Renfeng did not expect Longao to make a move. Due to his carelessness, he was hit by Longao. Longao, you're courting death. Su Tian was furious. As the ancestral patriarch of the Alchemy Guild, he had to watch his master get beaten by Longao. Longao and Su Renfeng had already withdrawn from blocking. If Su Tian continued to withdraw, the consequences would be unimaginable once the air barrier was breached by the Ice Snake army. Brother Su, the bigger picture is more important. Brother Su, Longao won't kill you. Brother Su, you don't want all of us to die here, right? Seeing that Su Tian was about to make a move, everyone was a little confused. No one wanted to die, including Su Tian. His face was filled with anger and his eyes were filled with endless killing intent. However, Su Tian endured it in the end because even he was not willing to die here. Longao, who had already knocked Su Tian to the ground, had already predicted that Su Tian would not make a move. Otherwise, he would not have acted rashly. In order to avoid Su Renfeng's counterattack, the moment he hit him, he immediately began to smash him like a storm. If it was any other time, even if he was knocked down, Su Renfeng would react in time and immediately counterattack. But now, perhaps he didn't expect it. Perhaps he was beaten senseless. In short, Su Renfeng was like an ordinary person without any strength being ridden by Longao, punching left and right. Longao's speed was extremely fast. In just a few minutes, he had already punched thousands of times. What kind of concept was this? Longao did not kill him. Otherwise, Su Renfeng would have died long ago. How could he still be gasping for breath? Master Long, that's enough. Everyone could not stand it anymore. This incident had caused indelible damage to Su Renfeng's body and mind. The dignified leader of the Alchemy Guild was beaten to such a state by Longao. If it was anyone else, they would have died. He stopped and got up. Longao looked coldly at Su Renfeng, who was on the ground, and said coldly, Su Renfeng, I'm telling you now. Don't think that everyone is easy to bully. This is the only time. If there is a next time, I won't be so polite. You're on your own. Considering the big picture, Longao did not kill Su Tian. Su Renfeng struggled to get up from the ground. Other than his swollen head, he was actually fine. Anger, endless anger. He clenched his fists tightly. Just as Su Renfeng was about to counterattack, Su Tian suddenly said, Enough. If you have any grudges, wait until we leave the star-secret realm. Su Tian's meaning was very clear. They could tolerate it in the star-secret realm. Once they left the star-secret realm, they would definitely take revenge. With a sneer, Longao said fearlessly, "I'll be waiting for you." He returned and immediately used the absolute destruction palm to continue blocking the attacks of the ice snake. As for what happened just now, he had long forgotten about it. "Brother Long, you're really arrogant, but I like it. Big brother Zile, some people are just wretched. We have to beat them up." Zile and Longao did not lower their voices. Everyone was back to back, so the others naturally heard it clearly. They were extremely angry. However, since the old ancestor had spoken, Su Rinfeng endured it. However, he spat out a mouthful of blood. It was not because he was injured by Longao, but because he was too angry. "Ao, stop messing around. Do you have a way to locate the Ice Emperor?" Funtian understood his disciple very well. If he did not have a way, he believed that Ao would not speak so easily. Not only that, Funtian also agreed with what Longao said. To catch bandits, first catch the leader. As long as they could deal with the Ice Emperor, they would be able to break through the Ice Snake Army's attack. Nodding his head, Longao said, "I don't have full confidence either. However, locking on to the Ice Emperor's position is not a problem." If it was before, the others would definitely not choose to believe it. However, at this time, no one had the slightest doubt. Everyone had already placed their bets, hoping that Longao could really lock onto the Ice Emperor's position. This way they could still be saved. Otherwise, they would not be able to escape this calamity. Everyone walked while blocking the attacks of the Ice Snake. At the same time, they were all staring at Longao. They did not know how Longao would lock onto the Ice Emperor's position. Longao did not say anything. In the next moment, a figure had already shot out from his body. It was none other than the Longao's reincarnation avatar. Longao wanted to borrow the power of the reincarnation avatar to lock onto the Ice Emperor's position. P.S. I woke up late. Hurry up and deliver the 4th chapter. Brothers, if you have votes, please vote for Longao. If the votes do not lose to yesterday's votes, I will continue to release 10 chapters tomorrow. Little 9 is going all out. Chapter 1779. No one was the slightest bit surprised about the clone. It turned out that Longao wanted to use his clone to lock onto the location of the Ice Emperor. Would he succeed? Whether it was friend or foe, under such circumstances, they all hoped that Longao would be able to successfully lock onto the location of the Ice Emperor. Regarding life and death, enemies could also become friends. The reincarnation clone was known as an immortal body. When it entered the army of ice snakes, even if it was attacked by the ice snakes, it would choose to ignore them. Others might be afraid of the ice snake's ice power, but the reincarnation clone was not afraid at all. The whole process took less than a few minutes. I've already locked onto the exact location of the Ice Emperor. Hearing Longao's words, everyone was overjoyed. Without any hesitation, everyone headed towards the direction Longao pointed at. Their speed was extremely fast, because everyone knew that the more time they wasted, the more danger they would be in. Under the premise of Funtian and Zi Lei opening the way, everyone quickly arrived in front of the Ice Emperor. Ordinary ice snakes were only as long as a finger, but the Ice Emperor was as long as an arm. Everyone, be careful. The Ice Emperor is a level 5 Nirvana divine beast. If he had the ice and fire 9-layered cauldron and used the burning to desolation, it wouldn't be difficult to destroy the Ice Emperor. But now, the situation was a little special. If the 19 of them joined hands to deal with the Ice Emperor, it would be more than enough. However, the surrounding ice snakes were endless, so it was impossible for them to use their full strength to deal with the Ice Emperor. Without any other choice, the 19 of them could only split into two groups. One group would deal with the Ice Emperor, while the other group would deal with the Ice Snake Army. Longao had the reincarnation clone, so he was naturally assigned to deal with the Ice Emperor. Zilei, Funtian and Longao, the three of them would deal with the Ice Emperor, while the others would help the three of them clean up the scene, preventing the Ice Snake Army from attacking the three of them, allowing the three of them to focus on dealing with the Ice Emperor. The power released by Funtian and Zilei was the nemesis of the Ice Emperor, and could also temporarily suppress him. In other words, the heavy responsibility of killing the Ice Emperor fell on Longao. If it was just Longao alone, it would be impossible for him to kill the Ice Emperor. Longao had taken the initiative to ask for reincarnation clone. No matter what, under such special circumstances, as long as he could kill the Ice Emperor, it would be beneficial to him or the others. Longao and his doppelganger attacked from the left and right. He had to admit that the Frost Empress was indeed very powerful. The terrifying power of ice was like a meteor shower, attacking Longao fiercely. Fortunately, Longao was protected by the reincarnation doppelganger. He was more scared than hurt. Brother Funtian, let's increase our suppression power. It was all thanks to the combined suppression of the two of them. Otherwise, Longao would not have been able to withstand the Ice Emperor's attack. Funtian nodded. Of course, he knew what purple thunder meant. Zilei and Funtian attacked with all their might. The power released from their bodies was like the waves of the ocean, continuously pouring into the battlefield. Although the Ice Emperor was very powerful, he was severely suppressed by the two powerful Nirvana Rebirth warriors. His strength was greatly reduced. The opportunity had come. Longao was overjoyed. While the reincarnation doppelganger was holding back the Frost Emperor, Longao hurriedly attacked with the extermination palm. With countless palm shadows, he might be able to kill the Frost Emperor. And the result? Longao's power had just entered the Ice Emperor's body. Just as he was about to kill him, the situation suddenly changed. Shocked, Longao retreated. However, it was too late. Longao's power had just entered the Ice Emperor's body and was immediately imprisoned. Not only that, the Ice Emperor's power backfired and attacked Longao's soul fiercely. With such an attack, Longao could only die. Brother Long, what's going on? Looking at the motionless Longao, everyone was a little surprised. They didn't know what was going on with Longao. Longao's face became paler and paler. Layers of ice began to appear on the surface of his body. If this continued, Longao would definitely freeze to death. Sister, quickly help Brother Long. If this continues, Brother Long will definitely die. Bai Ling could clearly sense Longao's situation. If it wasn't for her sister, she would have already taken action. Xiling shook her head and said helplessly, "If we take action, we will definitely be sensed by the clairvoyant. At that time, you, I, and even Longao will be in trouble. Then we just sit here and wait for death? Let's wait and see. At the last moment, if Longao still can't handle it by himself, we should be able to help Longao if we work together. Unless it was absolutely necessary, Purple Spirit would not be willing to reveal her identity." However, Xiling had already decided that if Longao couldn't handle it, she would take the risk of being discovered and help. At this moment, Longao's situation was very dangerous. His soul was being suppressed by the Ice Emperor, and it was even being imprisoned. And this was Longao. If it were anyone else, they would have been killed by the Ice Emperor. Clenching his teeth, he could only give it a shot. If he gave it the right shot, he could continue to live. If he gave it the wrong shot, there was only one result, and that was death. The firmament devouring skill. Longao finally placed all his bets on the firmament devouring skill. He hoped that the firmament devouring skill could destroy the Ice Emperor. Otherwise, he would really die. A huge black whirlpool appeared behind Longao's back. The ice around Longao's body began to dissipate. Longao was overjoyed. He knew that the firmament-devouring skill had worked. He didn't care about anything else and started to devour the Ice Emperor's energy. Longao's devouring speed was very fast. He didn't give the Ice Emperor any time to react. If it was just Longao alone, even if he used the firmament-devouring skill, he might not be able to devour the Ice Emperor's energy. However, with the help of Xiling and Bai Ling, Longao's devouring speed increased by 100 times. In just a few seconds, the Ice Emperor's energy, including his primordial spirit, was completely devoured. With the death of the Ice Emperor, the surrounding Ice Serpent army disappeared without a trace. Xing Quan and the others finally heaved a sigh of relief. Whether it was the Stone Beast army or the Ice Serpent army, they were all very dangerous. If they were careless, they would have fallen into eternal damnation. Fan Tian, Zi Lei and the others had ugly expressions. Although they didn't know how Longao did it, they could sense that Longao's current situation was very bad. Whether it was a blessing or a curse, no one knew. Longao sat quietly on the ground with a pale face. He had just used the firmament-devouring skill to devour the Ice Emperor's energy and primordial spirit. If Longao's cultivation had reached the Nirvana realm, he would have devoured it. However, with his current strength, forcefully devouring the Ice Emperor's primordial spirit was a little troublesome. It seems like Brother Long has devoured the Ice Emperor's primordial spirit. If he can't refine and fuse with it, Brother Long will be in great trouble. Why don't we help Brother Long together? P.S. The 5th chapter has been delivered. There are 5 more chapters today. Chapter 1780. Purple Thunder and the other 5 would definitely be fine. As for Xing Quan and the others, it was hard to say. Especially Su Renfeng, he would definitely not help Longao. Purple Thunder Ancestor, Burning Sky Ancestor, and Sword Sky Ancestor looked at each other and saw a trace of determination in each other's eyes. Since Xing Quan and the others were unwilling to help, they would not force them. In fact, the 6 of them were still worried that Xing Quan and the others would cause trouble and harm Longao. Purple Thunder, Burning Sky, and Sword Sky Ancestor took action. Longao had forcefully devoured the Ice Emperor's primordial spirit. According to his situation, he would definitely die this time. However, just as Longao was feeling helpless, 3 terrifying primordial spirit powers instantly poured into his body. He was overjoyed. Of course, Longao knew what these 3 powers meant. He did not dare to hesitate and immediately began to refine the Ice Emperor's primordial spirit with the help of the 3 powers. Gradually, the ice on Longao's body disappeared without a trace and his complexion improved. Ha ha ha, Brother Long has profited from this disaster. His divine soul has transformed into a primordial spirit. Purple Thunder and the others were pleasantly surprised. As for Xing Quan and the others, they were depressed to the extreme. Longao's talent and potential were too strong. In less than 5 days after entering the Star Secret Realm, Longao's cultivation had already broken through the Nirvana realm. At this speed, it would not take long for Longao to continue to break through and reach the Nirvana realm. Longao would continue to break through and reach the Nirvana realm. It took Longao a full day and night to transform his divine soul into a primordial spirit. Xing Quan and the others did not want to wait, but Purple Thunder Ancestor and the others refused to leave first. Xing Quan and the others had no choice but to stay. They had seen the danger. Without the 7 people, Xing Quan and the others did not know if they could successfully leave the Star Secret Realm. Slowly opening his eyes, Longao's face could not be seen whether he was happy or sad. However, in Longao's heart, he was extremely surprised. He had never thought that he would devour the Ice Emperor's primordial spirit and use the Three's help to completely refine and fuse with the Ice Emperor's primordial spirit. With the help of the Ice Empress's Yuan spirit, his soul had successfully transformed into a Yuan spirit. His cultivation had also risen from the heavenly cycle multiplication stage to the nirvana stage. He was only one step away from the nirvana rebirth stage. Nirvana rebirth. It was the realm that Longao dreamed of reaching. Although there were countless opportunities to devour a cosmos godhead in the star's secret territory, Longao had no intention of doing so. In that case, he would have to sense the origin power himself and break through to the starry sky realm. Preconditions. If one wanted to comprehend the source energy, then one must first raise one's cultivation to the nirvana rebirth realm. This step wasn't difficult, but it wasn't easy either. In order to advance from the nirvana stage to the nirvana rebirth stage, the most important thing was for the Yuan spirit within the body to produce a Yuan spirit domain. Congratulations, Brother Long, I should be thanking you. If it weren't for your help, I wouldn't have been able to successfully condense my primordial spirit. He was furious. Xing Kuan and the others were helpless and impatient. Thank each other. Let's talk about it after we leave the star's secret territory. We don't have much time, let's hurry. Due to Longao, they had been delayed for an entire day and night. Longao, Purple Thunder Patriarch, and the others smiled. They continued to move forward, but they became more cautious. Twinkling, twinkling. In front of them, two fist-sized balls of yellow and green light could be seen amidst the rubble. They were very dazzling. After walking for less than a kilometer, they found the two cosmos godhead. Everyone was overjoyed. This time, no one made a move because a fight would definitely break out if they tried to snatch it. As the saying goes, fists and feet have no eyes. Injuries were inevitable. Apart from Muronguena, the 19 people wanted the two cosmos godheads very much. With the lesson learned from the previous incident, many of them were already regretting it. They had lost a chance, so they couldn't afford to lose a second one. Everyone, why don't we divide the two cosmos godheads? No one said a word because no one knew what Xing Kuan wanted to say. Smiling, Xing Kuan continued, Brother Sure and I have already discussed it. As long as everyone gives us the two cosmos godheads, we won't make a move even if we come across another cosmos godhead until everyone has a cosmos godhead. What do you think? Open robbery. It was a blatant robbery. Everyone cursed in their hearts. They had seen shameless people, but they had never seen such a shameless person. Although there was no lack of cosmos godheads in the starry sky secret domain, no one could be sure if there would be another cosmos godhead in the near future. What if they were unlucky and never came across another cosmos godhead? It would be best to get the cosmos godhead first. That way, even if they didn't come across another one in the future, they wouldn't lose much. As for Xing Kuan, he wanted to rely on his and myriad beasts' ancestors' strength to intimidate the surrounding people. Would the others agree? There was no doubt that they wouldn't agree. They would be fools if they agreed. 5 Elements' ancestors sneered and said, Xing Kuan, you're really shameless. However, we won't agree. Let's do it this way. We'll get the cosmos godhead first. If we come across other cosmos godheads in the future, we won't make a move. What do you think? You don't have to fight anymore. The two cosmos godheads have disappeared. Everyone was shocked when they heard Fentian's words. The two cosmos godheads that were emitting light were gradually disappearing from the cracks in the rocks not far away. They completely disappeared under everyone's eyes. No one knew what had happened. The two cosmos godheads had disappeared, so there was no need to fight anymore. However, Xing Kuan and myriad beasts' ancestors' shamelessness had angered everyone. If it weren't for the two's strength and the special situation, would the others continue to endure? The two starry sky god deities were just a small interlude. No matter how angry everyone was, they could only forcibly suppress it. However, after this incident, everyone became even more vigilant in their hearts. No one would believe anyone else. The temptation of the cosmos Godhead was too great. No one could resist it. They were still surrounded by rocks. The more they walked, the more they felt that something was wrong. They had been walking for 5 days and 5 nights, but they were still surrounded by rocks. It was as if they couldn't get out of this space. Could it be that the entire starry sky's secret domain was filled with rocks? If that was the case, when would it end? Look, it's a forest. Everyone looked over. There were no longer rocks in front of them. Instead, there was a boundless forest. There were towering trees everywhere. It was a shocking sight to see from afar. Chapter 1781. The dense forest seemed particularly eerie. Everyone felt helpless because they had no choice but to enter even if they didn't want to. They could only walk forward, left, right, and back. Left with no choice, they could only head towards the huge dense forest. As soon as they stepped into the forest, everyone's expression changed. What a comfortable feeling! They were pleasantly surprised. Everyone could clearly sense that the aura in the forest was very comfortable. Cultivating in such an environment would be very beneficial. However, they didn't stop at all because they didn't enter the starry sky secret realm to cultivate, but to obtain the starry sky godhood. Until now, they still couldn't figure out why the 2 starry sky godhoods had disappeared without a trace. Inside the dense forest, there were towering trees everywhere, covering the sky and the sun. What a powerful aura of life! Why don't we cultivate here for a while? Many people didn't agree with the myriad beasts patriarch's suggestion, but the current situation was very special. As long as 3 sects expressed their unwillingness to move forward, no one would be able to move forward. If they didn't unite, only death would await them. Left with no choice, everyone chose to stop cultivating on the spot. They sat on the ground. Longao also noticed that the aura of life in the forest was very strong and didn't miss the slightest opportunity. His situation was a little different from the others. While the others had already stabilized their cultivation, he had just broken through from the nirvana fate calamity. His cultivation wasn't very stable yet, so he could take advantage of this opportunity to stabilize his cultivation. Everyone began to cultivate. Longao, there's something we'd like to discuss with you. Go ahead. Longao was very curious. He didn't know what Xiling needed his help with at this time. Longao, my sister and I have just sensed that the life here is very powerful. If we can absorb the aura of life here, it will be of great help to our recovery. Huh? According to what Xiling said, wasn't it a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Before Longao could speak, Xiling continued, if my sister and I absorb the aura of life here, we can recover to the starry sky realm within a year. Great joy. What should I do? Longao would definitely agree. Even if he risked being discovered by the clairvoyant, he would still help Xiling and Bai Ling. There was only one chance, and he could not give up so easily. Longao, if you are willing to take the risk and help us find the origin of the life aura, that would be for the best. Longao suddenly stood up and said, everyone, you guys stay here and cultivate. I'll go explore the road ahead. Hearing Longao's words, everyone was a little surprised. Did water enter Longao's brain? This forest didn't seem to be dangerous at all, and the aura of life was still so abundant. However, everyone knew that this place was also filled with danger. God knows what kind of danger there is. Xing Kuan and the others snorted and continued to cultivate. They didn't care about Longao's life or death. It would be best if he died, but it was also fine if he didn't die. However, Zilei and the others were unwilling to do so. Brother Long, exploring the path isn't something you can do alone. There's no need to take such a risk. After a while, we'll all move together. The Violet Thunder Patriarch naturally thought that Longao was really going to explore the path. Brother Violet Thunder is right. If you go alone, there's no need for us to explain the dangers. Longao smiled. Hearing everyone's concern, a trace of warmth flowed through his heart. I've already decided that nothing will happen to me. Longao did not continue speaking. He turned around and left. In a short while, he had already disappeared without a trace. Looking at his departing figure, everyone sighed deeply. They didn't continue trying to persuade him. They all understood Longao's character. Once he had decided on something, it would be very difficult for him to change it. Longao was also very careful as he continued forward. Xiling, are you able to sense the origin of the life aura? Longao, I can sense that everything here is controlled by the clairvoyant. However, if my guess is right, the clairvoyant should have already left the Martial Heaven continent. Before you leave, he won't return. So that's how it was. Longao had been wondering why Xiling had suddenly become so bold. Was he not afraid of being discovered by the clairvoyant? So the clairvoyant had already left the Martial Heaven continent. In that case, wouldn't Xiling and Bai Ling be able to leave the Dragon Seal space and devour life aura as much as they wanted? Seemingly able to guess what Longao was thinking, Bai Ling smiled and said, Brother Long, we can't leave. Although the clairvoyant has already left, there are still other experts in the starry sky. If we leave, they'll definitely lock onto us. However, even if we stay here, we can still absorb life aura. He wasn't the slightest bit surprised. It would be strange if there weren't any experts in the starry sky. After all, the starry sky godhead in the starry sky secret realm represented the deaths of countless cultivators. Other people definitely wouldn't be able to do such a thing, but Master God Diviner might not be able to do it. As an expert of the starry sky, let alone the Martial Heaven continent, Master God Diviner was a supreme existence in the entire starry sky. Xiling and Bai Ling continued to absorb the life aura in the starry sky secret realm. As for Longao, he followed Xiling's instructions and searched for the origin of the life aura. Absorbing life aura and absorbing the origin of life aura were two completely different concepts. The difference between Xiling and Bai Ling's assistance was like heaven and earth. That was why Longao was so focused on finding the origin of the life aura. Something's wrong. Longao, who had been searching for the origin of the life aura, suddenly stopped. He sensed his surroundings. There was nothing wrong, but Longao's intuition told him that something was wrong. As for what was wrong, he couldn't tell. Helpless, he could only continue searching for the origin of the life aura. According to what Violet Spirit had said, the source of life in this place should be constantly changing its location. Otherwise, it should have been found a long time ago. With the chaotic movements of life, even Violet Spirit and Bai Ling would not be able to pinpoint the exact location of the source. With his back against the tree, Longao decided to rest for the time being. At this moment, the big tree suddenly moved. The branches on the trunk were like human hands, directly wrapping around Longao, tightly entangling him. Longao was startled. He didn't know what was happening, but after a brief moment of shock, he realized that he had encountered a tree demon. Just like spirit beasts, plants had life. However, some plants didn't have the ability to attack. According to legends, the tree demon race had powerful attack power. Moreover, they were a race that lived in groups. His luck was really bad. He just had to meet the legendary tree demon race. Chapter 1782. Being entangled by the tree demons was like being entangled by a python. It was getting tighter and tighter. If this continued, he would be entangled to death. Longao was being attacked by the tree demons. Zilei and the rest were also being attacked by the tree demons. It was just that they did not know about it. The tree demons were getting tighter and tighter. Longao's body was slender. The reincarnation doppelganger appeared. The reincarnation sword was already in the hands of the reincarnation doppelganger. The reincarnation sword chi struck the tree demons. Due to the pain, the tree demons loosened the branches that were entangling Longao. Seizing this rare opportunity, Longao took a step forward and broke free from the tree demons. He heaved a sigh of relief. What a terrifying tree demon! Longao could not sense any aura from the tree demons. He could not even sense their true strength. Under normal circumstances, the tree demons should not be able to entangle him with his strength. However, it was the opposite. Human, as long as you hand over the sword, I can let you go. Senior, who are you? Want the reincarnation sword? Is that even possible? The tree demons in the surroundings slowly dispersed. One of the largest towering trees slowly shrank again. It was a towering tree just a moment ago. Now it was only as tall as a human. The most peculiar thing was that it had eyes, a nose, and a mouth. It looked exactly like a human. Kid, you can call me Tree Emperor. Tree Emperor? Longao realized that there were many such powerful races in the Star Secret Realm. For example, the stone beasts, ice snakes, and now the tree demons. Without a doubt, he could clearly sense the terrifying strength of the Tree Emperor. It was probably on par with the Stone Beast Emperor and the Ice Emperor. Senior Tree Emperor, I did not mean to offend you. Don't be hypocritical. Hand over the sword and I will not kill you. Consider it a deal. If you agree, we will trade immediately. If not, we will fight. As for whether you die or I die, it will be up to each of us. How delightful. Longao really liked the Tree Emperor's personality. He was straightforward and upright, and did not drag things out. He would rather fight with such an expert than speak another word to such a treacherous villain. Senior Tree Emperor, forgive me for not being able to hand this sword over to you. We can have a battle, but you have the advantage in numbers. Even if you were to win, it would be a little troublesome. Longao did not finish his sentence, but the expression on his face told the Tree King what he meant. Ha ha ha, kid, you don't have to be afraid. I'll fight you one-on-one. If you can beat me, you can leave. In a one-on-one battle, the Tree Emperor was extremely confident. The difference between the Nirvana stage and the Nirvana rebirth stage was too great. It was like an insurmountable chasm. He didn't continue speaking. Longao took 3 steps back. If it were before, he would definitely be wary of the reborn Tree Emperor. After all, the difference in cultivation level was too great. But now, his cultivation had already successfully broken through to the Nirvana realm. Even if he was unable to kill a Nirvana rebirth martial artist, he would not be defeated. Are you scared? Not really. You're not bad among humans, but if you lose, you'll still die. Longao was not afraid at all. Instead, he smiled and said, Senior Tree King, if I win, I hope you can promise me one thing. Defeat me? Hearing Longao's words, the Tree Emperor laughed. A puny Nirvana stage martial artist actually dared to boast that he could defeat him? He was simply courting death. All right, as long as you can defeat me, I'll promise you one thing. I'd like to see how you can defeat me. Seeing that the Tree Emperor did not believe him, Longao laughed in his heart. Longao teleported and his body disappeared. In the next second, he was already in front of the Tree Emperor. Following that, he punched out. He was a little surprised. The Tree Emperor did not expect Lin Fan's speed to be so fast. However, he was confident in his own strength. He countered every move and punched out with his tree branch. Both fists collided and their auras collided. The absolute difference in cultivation level made it almost impossible for Longao to defeat the Tree Emperor in close combat. With one punch, Longao was forced back 10 steps. Ha ha ha, your strength is not bad. Let me show you this Emperor's ultimate move. As soon as his voice fell, a terrifying aura erupted from the Tree Emperor's body. Countless tree branches burst out from the ground and fell from the sky. There were tree branches everywhere. This move again. He had already seen this move. If an ordinary tree demon was so powerful, there was no need to mention the Tree Emperor. Longao did not dare to be careless. With the reincarnation arts in his hand, he began to spin with his body as the center. The reincarnation sword chi quickly formed a reincarnation chi barrier around Longao. The tree branches could not get close at all. It was as if the reincarnation sword chi was the nemesis of the Tree Emperor. The more it was so, the more the greed on the Tree Emperor's face became endless. Following the Tree Emperor's roar, countless tree branches attacked Longao like an octopus. The attacks were getting stronger and stronger. Even with the reincarnation sword chi, Longao realized that the attacks were getting denser and denser. Looking from afar, he could no longer see Longao's figure. All he could see was the countless tree branches dancing wildly. The first style of reincarnation, Reincarnation 9/, and the second style of reincarnation, Reincarnation Chaotic Dance. The two great reincarnation sword techniques were unleashed one after another. Longao's body also moved towards the Tree Emperor. Because he was already enveloped, he was unable to see the exact location of the Tree Emperor. With the obstruction of the dancing tree branches, Longao could not move an inch. Every step he took was as difficult as ascending the heavens. Even so, Longao still forced his way towards the Tree Emperor. He knew very well that if he did not take this step, he would never be able to win and defeat the Tree Emperor if he continued to be entangled by the Tree Emperor. Ha! Kid, you can't even touch my body. How can you defeat me? Longao could only hear the voice but not see the Tree Emperor's figure. He was extremely depressed. No matter what, this was the Tree Emperor's base. What did it mean that the Tree Emperor's true strength could be increased by a third? I don't believe that I can't get close to you. With the help of the reincarnation sword, it was almost impossible to get close to the Tree Emperor. Left with no other choice, Longao used the destruction palm. Countless palm shadows were sent out, slapping on the surrounding tree branches, hoping to find a way to get close to the Tree Emperor. The result? Even with the destruction palm, he could not break free from the surrounding tree branches. The reincarnation sword, reincarnation 36 styles, and destruction palm were all ineffective. What should he do? P.S. Little Nine did not dare to turn on the computer due to the thunderstorm earlier. This is the 8th chapter. Little Nine will speed up. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.